Okay, January 14th.
Yes.
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Check.
Bombcast?
No.
Check.
We changed the name of the show.
How mouth work words.
That's the new name of the show. Congratulations.
Microphone.
You got it, everybody.
Putting it all together. Good job,
Talking podcast. Hello.
Hi.
It's been a while.
A little rusty here.
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's happening?
How do we do this?
Yeah, it's you certainly haven't done any podcasting over the last 3 weeks.
No. Sadly, I was not able to.
Yeah.
Yes. Some things stop for nothing. Hello.
Oh, hello.
What's happening on this January the 14th of 2020?
hanging
No,
out.
glad to have you back. We missed you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
Brad, I have a question for you.
Yes?
During your time away, how many Mai Tais did you drink?
0.
What?
Really?
Sadly.
In my head, I was imagining you on a beach just sipping on Mai Tais.
No beach.
No beach?
Was not about to head to the
Drinks in a coconut.
to the southern hemisphere.
No drinks in a coconut?
No, definitely
Damn
not.
it.
We drink enough Mai Tais here at the office. It's
Yeah.
like, sometimes you just got to get away from them.
All right. A Mai Tai tap.
Yeah.
I did go to a Filipino wedding over the weekend.
Oh.
Got to experience a money dance
Oh.
for the first time.
It is very sad when the groom or bride does not get money. And
Does that happen?
It totally happens.
This groom and bride both cleaned up
Fantastic.
from what I could see.
Okay.
That's a Filipino thing?
Yes. So
Man, okay.
you safety pin dollar bills. It's supposed to be dollar bills to the bride or groom, and you like kind of make clothing or like a sash,
Yeah.
a crown. My buddy, when he got married, it only had $5 onto him, 10 minutes in.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, his wife, his new bride, was like decked out.
Yeah,
She
this
just
couple
cleaned
was
up.
just covered.
Yeah. So we had to make them dollar bill underpants.
Oh, that's sad.
It's very sad.
That's really depressing. I was getting mixed messages from people that I was there with about how much you stand to potentially like. Some people were like, you might get a couple $100 total, and then somebody else said like you could get $5 or $10 grand. In the right company.
Well, are there separate cards with like you're already giving a gift of some sort,
Yes.
right? In addition to the cash. That
So this is in addition to that.
all right.
Yeah.
In that case, $5 would be for like
I guess it depends on
$25.
how high rolling your company is.
Oh, totally. If you have like a rich aunt that's about to die.
Just kill her before. Just kill her and take it right there.
But like, so you're just encouraged to only do dollar bills, but then like, within like the Filipino community, you want to stunt on each other.
Of course.
And it's like, oh, fuck you. I have like $300 right here.
Yeah.
And here's now like a crown.
Okay, one more question. I saw somebody go up with like the stack in the palm, just doing this.
Oh, was it an old man?
No.
Ah, damn.
It might have been somebody I was there with.
Oh,
Was that bad form?
no, that is encouraged.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were straight up making it rain.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a mess.
what other cultures have this tradition? I know Armenian weddings have something very similar of like
I've been to one.
the
that-
couple dances.
Yeah,
and-
I didn't know the background though.
I love it.
I know Conan did a video with his assistant's wedding where he very much made it rain on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm just relating what I watched on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's the most interesting
Thank
part.
you.
What else have you seen on YouTube?
It put me on the spot. I have not. They're really good sleeping video called Starship Quarters. It's
Really good.
brown noise. I played every night.
Sleeping video. Okay.
Yes, it's pure brown noise for 10 hours.
I downloaded a white
brown
noise
noise?
app that
Sleeping
apparently I downloaded a white noise app for my phone some time ago, and I was looking at my Apple TV and I was looking at like what apps do I own on this thing, and it was like you own this white noise app, and I was like, well, fuck it, I'll download
When did
this.
I get that?
And I ran it, and it has like a 20 different noises or whatever, and I started playing it, and then I quit out of it and walked away. And then when I walked back into the room, it sounded like there was rain. It was raining outside, by the way. That's maybe important. It sounded like water was running in my closet down the walls or something. And I was like, oh, shit.
It can be very distracting.
There's a hole in my roof. Like, what the fuck is going on? And I realized that the app was somehow still making noise out of my speakers.
Yeah.
Out of my home theater stuff. And I was like, what the fucking fuck? Like, the Apple TV's a nightmare. I'm pretty sure I'd quit out of that app.
It has the worst remote control of anything I've ever used in my life.
It is a garbage dump. it is it is the worst piece of fucking trash.
Every time I pick that thing up, I manage to
bueno.
cancel everything, go back to the main menu, and just pause everything because I pick it up
just
upside down every time.
Sucks. It just sucks so.
Joni,
fucking
what
much.
are you doing?
It's fucking trash.
He quit. He's not there.
But he probably had his hands all over.
I think he's on retainer. Or
I
something.
heard he stepped away from all the iPhone like physical design stuff to work on their headquarters before he left. So he was just doing that for the last few years. So
I want to make a building. All right, what's bigger than a building? I'm going to go make that. Oh, you're not making anything bigger than a building here? All right, I have to go.
I've peaked. I've been knighted. I'm done. I find all of the 10 hours of Starship Enterprise that I find online have a little too much computer sound in there.
Yeah.
I just want the white noise of the engines in the background,
this
but
is
it's,
not-
engines.
it's just nonstop, like beeping and booping.
this is not a licensed thing. It's called Starship Sleeping Quarters. It's 10 hours long.
Starship is a generic term.
They have a nice little backstory in the description about what I'm off to Slumbaria 4, where the Slumbarians are the new.
boy.
Oh, man.
It's just 10 hours. So white noise, I find over time has gotten really harsh to me. Brown noise is really bassy, really low, and I use a Bluetooth speaker, put it under my pillow, and just like it sleeps like a fucking baby.
What about
why
pink
didn't-
noise?
that?
Into pink noise?
Pink noise is also a little too harsh for me.
Okay.
Why didn't they ever do that episode of
Slumbarians,
an entire
sleep aliens.
civilization based on sleep?
I got good 9 hours last night.
Like
Captain
they
Picard.
did the people where everybody has to die at the age of 60. They
Yep.
did the people who have sex constantly.
Or if you, what was the one where Wesley got
They
almost murdered for throwing a football?
That
too
was
far?
I think that was that
most
one.
of them.
I think that was the same one.
Because Riker would have shown up and tried to fuck the sleep aliens, and that's not okay.
Yeah, that's true. He did have a habit of that.
They can't consent when they're
Yeah,
sleeping.
exactly. It's not okay.
Yeah, no, certainly not.
I'm glad I got this bombcast off the rails right before even
That's why
first time you open my mouth.
That's why we bring you in.
These are
The derailer.
these are the rails.
That's right.
The rail splitter.
Ben is on assignment.
Yes.
I'm here in replacement.
Yes. What's new? Top 3 things from last weekend.
Let's see.
Let's go around the table.
So not last night, but the 2 nights before it. We wake up 2 to 3 times per night because of baby things. You got to feed a baby. You got to feed a baby.
Yeah.
That's the law.
That's in the rule book.
They're
So that-
demanding.
Yeah, so
like
that's
that.
usually like a 10 p.m. and then like a 2 a.m. and then like a 5 a.m. It just you know, give or take. Not last night, but the 2 nights before it. Waking up at that 2 a.m., the house has smelled of skunks.
Oh no.
The baby turned into a skunk.
Yeah. Also, the baby turned into a skunk. I don't know if that's related or not. No,
very-
it was just
That
like
happens
this
at
is
6
a
months
I
usually.
got one of those shape-changing babies.
yeah. This is
Miyazaki film. Always.
this is a nightmare. Like the whole house
baby?
stinks, and it was fucking ridiculous. And it seems like that maybe some skunks were fighting or fucking or both. Or I don't know what happened, but like my driveway, basically like the whole front of my house, just reeks.
Whoa.
Like the skunk, there was a skunk and it sprayed something.
Ooh, gross.
And so that spray got onto both our cars.
Oh boy.
And so I went out yesterday and bought some
You just go to the car wash and say, "Give me the tomato juice."
and then poured it on the inside of the car because it's
Yep.
the inside. Well, now it's the inside that stinks. Like the outside doesn't smell
Permeates.
anymore. But yeah, somehow the undercarriage, I don't know what the
It
I don't know what
it
happened.
gets into nooks and
It got
crannies.
everywhere. Both our
Gross.
cars, the inside. So I went and bought some animal repellent from the store, which turns out to just be like peppercorns or something.
Yeah.
It's just and
They
poured
make
that
it
everywhere.
different strength for animals versus humans, like pepper spray. Like if you get bear spray, it's way weaker because otherwise you could fuck up the bears. Like,
Right. Well, this was just sprinkled stuff.
sprinkle
Like they had a spray, but the spray instructions were like, put it on the flowers you don't want to get eaten. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. And also, that one didn't have the picture of a skunk on it. I wanted one that had a picture of a skunk on it that specifically, because there was a bunch that just were like, and just get those varmints out. And I'm like, no, I need to know that this particular varmint is not okay with this. You can't just fucking give me generic varmint juice.
I'm going to be honest. This does not sound like a top 3 weekend thing.
It
This
is.
sounds like it would be near the bottom.
Hey, look, it dominated conversation.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it's blowing up on social.
Okay, fair.
Anyway, so I sprayed, I poured all that stuff out
this is
yesterday.
Driving a lot of engagement around the house.
Yeah, and then but I still got in the car this morning and was like, "Pwah!" Like bad
Ugh.
skunk problem.
Ready.
So yeah, I had my skunk problem. I got a burger and wanted to order it a specific way, and then this motherfucker's put an onion ring on it.
God damn it.
And that's
And
that was
onion ring?
sick. And onion
One
ring, a single
I don't
onion
know.
ring.
That sounds pretty good.
It was the size of the burger. I mean, it was, it wasn't like a,
wow.
it's not no pinner ass onion ring. This is a full size onion ring.
Mhm.
That also happened. That sucked.
I'm sorry that
And I
That
drove
happened to
really
you.
far to go to a Walmart to get baby toys.
you did get
I
the
did.
toys.
Yes,
Okay,
the
good.
order came in and I picked it up, and the whole thing was a nightmare. But at least the pickup process for
least-
this thing.
Now you've got backups
was-
on backups.
Yeah, well, so it was the thing we were trying to replace was like a panda-looking chime thing.
Yeah. See, now that kid is going to hate that panda thing.
Well, so the things we got are not pandas; they're elephants.
Okay.
It's the same toy, but like if you look at the label on the new one, you look at it and go like, "This hot Mr. Chimes panda/elephant," and I'm like, "Oh, it's just assorted. Like these are the two they make, and you can't specify. I want the panda, so we got two elephants."
They didn't bin them separately. It's just whatever came off the factory line.
Exactly. Yeah.
you're getting.
Basically. Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a whole thing where originally I accidentally ordered 6 of these things, but they canceled 4 of them because the thing's been discontinued.
couldn't
But they
find them.
just rooted around some Walmart warehouse and found 2 of these fucking elephants. So now I got those. And the kid is destined to hate them within like a month. I'm sure she'll be like, "I'm done with all these
Yep,
chimes. This
over
is all
it."
garbage."
Sounds like a pretty weak top 3 for a weekend.
That's kind of what I was
that's-
saying.
to be honest.
Well, the people working on arcade cores for the Mister have been doing some gangbusters work, and
Okay.
that's been phenomenal to
All right.
watch.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay, that sounds pretty
Yeah.
good.
Are you in their gets? What are you doing? Are you following along like live? Are they like tweeting out all this information?
Yeah, so I'm looking at GitHub and looking at as they do stuff for sure. Like there's like because a lot of games run on Pac-Man hardware. You know, it was a popular game, so there's a lot of like, hey, rip these chips out. Like some of them are bootlegs. Like, hey, rip these chips out and put these chips in, and you can play a bootleg of this other game on Pac-Man hardware. And so instead of having to download separate things for each individual game, they've been like, hey, we're just going to adapt our Pac-Man hardware stuff to run multiple games.
According to Wikipedia, that hardware is actually called Namco Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Is the name of that system,
Yeah.
that arcade platform.
Yeah, that's probably that sounds about right.
An 8-bit arcade game system board.
Galaxian also got
Nintendo does
used
the
a ton,
Pac-Can.
and Scramble,
Rally
the
X.
Konami game, was also widely modifiable. So,
Jump shot
jump shot.
and shoot the bull.
Ah, yes, shoot
It's
the
when you
bull.
just come out and
a
just
darts
shoot the bull.
game.
Oh, the bullseye.
Apparently-
Not an actual bull.
But seriously, are these like GitHub repositories that you're
Yes,
downloading
totally.
executables from?
You're downloading .rbf files, which are cores for the
Roast beef.
FPGA, and you can also just download the whole thing and compile it yourself, which sometimes I do.
Cool.
When I need to, when I want to.
Feeling frisky?
Yeah, exactly. When there's like someone just checked in something hot, like, yo, the Game Boy Advance core has cheats now, and I'm like, that sounds fun. I'm going to compile that myself right now.
Sounds exciting.
It is exciting.
It's like modding. It's kind of like modding.
Yeah. It's like watching them do all this work that I don't know how to
The
do.
bigger nudity mod has come out for Witcher 3, and I have to update to that.
Well,
you know?
shit, yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly. I can play Tapper or Suntory Tapper
With
or
nudity.
Root Beer Tapper. Well, there's a Simpsons Tapper that's like a hack, so someone could potentially do a nude hack for Tapper. We could probably set that up for you.
Did you watch The Witcher?
I have not.
Did anybody watch it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
It takes a little while to get
Yeah.
into. The first couple episodes,
Yes.
I was like, I don't know.
Pretty slow.
It definitely picks up.
Kind
though,
of
yeah.
confusing.
Once it kind of switches,
Pretty awkward.
like Yennefer
Writing.
becomes kind of the main character
Yeah.
almost. And around then it gets
That,
super
that
interesting,
third
yeah.
episode, things start coming together.
Yeah.
All I ever
introduced.
heard people talking about was the song from it.
The song is impossible to escape.
Yeah.
I heard
I have not heard it yet.
I heard some kind of dubstep cover, some kind of cover of it, but
Yes,
I've
I also
not heard
heard
the
it.
original.
I also heard something to that effect.
I'm not going to be the earworm. I'm not going to
Spent
sing it.
a good
Sorry.
chunk of the holidays beseeching my girlfriend to stop singing it.
Yep. It's tough, though.
It's just,
I think it's gone now.
it's
though.
awful. Yeah.
Don't sing it,
We're
please.
past it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming in. Oh,
There you go.
Shouldn't have said
There you go.
anything.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
There goes
Okay.
Aladdin.
Yep, there it is.
Aladdin's gone now.
great.
Okay. Oh, no.
And these are based on the books, right? So is that why it's like
Yeah, but
Super dense. Yeah.
yeah, but the Henry,
it's not-
the Henry Cavill performance is 1,000% the game version of Geralt.
Oh, sure.
Like they're not even trying to hide it.
Well, he loves video games. I don't know if you've heard.
He's a PC gamer.
I don't know if you've heard that he loves video games.
Specifically loves PC
Hey
games.
guys, let's write more news articles about how much this man loves video games.
That's how many articles were written.
Oh my God.
I know which platform he prefers.
Do you know
Yes.
that Henry Cavill loves video games? Top story, news segment, play the music.
When they said Xbox or PlayStation, he indignantly said a PC.
Henry Cavill loves video games.
Which kind?
Personal computer.
Oh shit.
Probably Windows.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's a Windows guy.
Yeah.
I'm running it all under Ubuntu and Wine, though.
Yes.
Oh,
If he's not doing that, he's not a real gamer.
That's right.
good job, Henry.
Yeah.
Harry, whatever your name is.
Henry, right?
I don't know.
Henry.
He loves video games.
That's right. He's Superman.
Australian,
British.
right?
He's British.
Okay.
Yes.
I just every actor is from Australia now.
Whoa.
Sure.
It was a good bet.
Did you know? He loves them. He plays them. This
Stars
celebrity,
in him.
Us Magazine. This just in. Henry Cavill is just like us.
Celebrities. They're just they go out and
They
get
go out. They play.
they go out and get ice cream cones.
Yes.
They come home and
They
play.
play PC games
video
on a
games.
PC.
He claims that he
I do
missed the
that.
phone call to letting him know that he got the part of Superman because he was playing WoW.
That'll happen.
So he says.
Me too. Me too.
WoW is so
actually.
multitaskable though. Like
He
why
is
would you
just
not
like
just
us.
pick up
Yeah,
the
right.
phone?
Because he's not he plays it, man. He's not like you. He doesn't just log in and do his dailies. He's in there making it happen. He's managing a guild. Did you know he likes video games?
His raids are not yet on farm status. He's
Okay.
still got to. He still has to pay attention to what he's doing. Anybody got any video games you want to talk about that are not played or enjoyed by Henry Cavill?
Speaking of WoW,
I like to think most of my games would be.
Possible.
Yeah.
He has a broad range of interests. I understand.
I played a personal computer game called AO Tennis 2.
Oh,
AO.
AO.
Yeah.
Go on.
Adults only.
Yeah, no, it's
No?
unfortunately these tennis players are all clothed.
Australian Open.
Yes, Australian Open.
I hear that's going swimmingly in real life.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's a tennis game.
Good.
Yeah, no, it plays pretty well. I haven't spent a ton of time with it, but I was intrigued by hey man, they don't make a lot of tennis games anymore, so I
I want
feel
the magic of Virtua Tennis to be recaptured.
Yeah,
or
I don't know if
rekindled.
I don't know if you can ever have that
ever will.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to pick up and play it. But I don't know that I would go so far as to call it straight up arcadey. It does have a somewhat robust looking character creator that will let you import JPEGs. I didn't see any Kenny Omegas in there though. I figured because you can create venues. It's basically like the list of everything you can do in a wrestling game, but in a tennis game.
Like
and
their intros and stuff.
no, okay, no,
Put the
not
pyro?
everything. But yeah, no, it's maybe you could get some pyro in there.
That'd be cool.
But I looked in there and it was someone had made Roger Federer.
Okay.
I was like, that's fine, but I want
Oh, you mean
Kenny Omega.
the billionaire tennis player?
yes,
Wait,
sure.
Oh, they're not actual licensed.
I assume there are. I have dude.
No idea. who
I have
they
no
are.
idea who these Australian Open tennis individuals are. They could be real. They might not be. They look very real. Like they could be real people, but I did
JPEGs
not
were
look any of them up.
top-notch.
But
That's
Roger
weird.
Federer, that's a name I've heard of.
Yeah, I would assume that if you
CM
get,
Punk, Chris Benoit, those are characters I expect to see in
jeez.
a create a character.
it's weird because I don't know if you get the license to the tennis association and you get the players too. I'm assuming it's probably different, like the NBA, who has a big.
It might be, or maybe
it's
specifically because they got the Australian Open because it has that license. Maybe there's specific players that come with that.
know, it's bizarre.
I don't know. But I did like that you could create characters and map JPEGs onto the faces, but
Sounds
it gave me no guidance as to what the JPEG should look
You
like.
should know how to do this by now, Jeff.
But you need to know what the size or where in the frame the head needs to be, all that stuff. There was no,
Right.
it didn't seem like there was any move the JPEG after applying it.
really?
So the JPEG I chose,
You just upload it.
which was just, it was just a picture of my wife. I knew it wasn't going to work, but I had a picture of my wife and I was like, oh, I'm just going to throw this on there. And it was like her face was on the guy's neck. And I was like, that's a weird, cool look,
Gross.
but no, let's not go with that. And it didn't seem like I could fix it. But
You don't
I
want
didn't-
your wife on some guy's neck.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. And so I don't know. I messed around with it a little bit. Maybe the controls were there and I just missed them. But
You know what I remember about Virtua Tennis the most?
what?
Two shadows.
Okay.
Shadows off of
Lighting.
the player in
Yeah.
both directions.
Yeah,
Lighting
'cause the
everywhere.
lights.
Like, man, this Dreamcast thing.
Yeah.
Got two lights on this guy.
lights.
Look at all
afford
these
two
light
lights.
sources.
Yeah.
Yeah. was a big deal.
Yes.
Welcome to the future.
I guess when that last Mario Tennis didn't really make a huge splash.
It didn't.
It was kind of because
Yeah.
that was like the attempt to make tennis.
Well, they
deep.
also, yeah, right. I was gonna say, yeah.
It's like if even that didn't do it, then maybe video game tennis is just kind of not
I think
doing it anymore.
I think it was. I think the depth they went for was maybe a little off-putting to some players, though. That
It was
seemed
a little
like-
hard.
Yeah.
Could you not just play it like Virtua Tennis? Like, was that not
Well,
enough?
you could, but
I
then
don't
you
think
were
that
like,
was-
That's what
you
I'm
were
saying.
ignoring
Was
so many
that-
systems
right.
for like breaking rackets and all that
was
other
that
stuff.
not enough
that, like,
to hack it if you just
Right.
Okay.
No, it sounds like especially online players were just getting worked.
You're cutthroat out there,
Yeah.
man. Oh yeah, I don't want cutthroat players in Mario Tennis. I just want to play it and have fun.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me do that, Brad.
That's a fair expectation.
Anyway, maybe I'll play that on UPF or something like that. But it sure seems like a tennis game,
Yes.
and that is enough probably for a lot of people
Sure.
that are in the market for that.
That new Dragon Ball game is out this week. Any expectations or hopes and dreams?
I hope they made it better since I played it at E3 because it seemed really the pacing just felt really slow. You know, it's this large world and just getting from place to place took time, and the making that trek was not always fun or interesting.
The random encounters that would pop up
Yeah.
with like random droids were also kind of breaking up the pace.
Yeah, it
and
was just
getting
like,
annoying.
God.
Does
I
that
just wanna-
transition you to a fight like RPG style,
No,
or you're just fighting people out in the world?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does. Like
With- yeah.
you kind of swivel into a fight view, and
then
you're
kind of
fighting,
stuck in the fight until you finish it?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Huh.
So it's an open world kind of exploration.
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so it's got side quests, and you're finding all this other stuff while also doing stuff that'll kind of tie more into the classic Dragon Ball Z
Who do
story.
you play as?
Gugoku.
Go.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Kakarot.
I've heard of
That's
him.
yeah.
What is
Yes, Kakarot.
What is Kakarot?
That's Goku's true name.
yes,
Is it really?
Wait,
Yes.
really?
Saiyan name.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought he
Wow.
wasn't
Yeah,
a
we're
sign.
learning.
It's a Superman
later.
story. He crashes to Earth and has no idea who he is. Like it's
Okay.
you know, so
but he's-
someone on Earth has to name him something.
Now I understand
Yeah.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Did you know Goku loves video games?
Does he?
Just like us.
Yes, he's just like us. And Superman.
There's some really impressive stuff going on visually.
Yeah, I like the look of it, but then also like anytime it had a cutscene, like the dialogue was so just like line, pause,
Yeah.
line, pause, that it just had no flow to it. And it just like it felt very old in that regard. So I don't know. Oh, I'm hoping that what I played at E3, was very much a demo. So hopefully they've cleaned all that up.
I don't remember how far do they say it's going to go. Is it going to go all the way to the Boo saga?
They did say, and I can't remember.
They did say I'm tempted to say it goes to the Cell games because that's what everything does. But
right.
but that's
Yeah, I don't
But
know if
I
I
don't
want to
actually know
play
that
that
that's true.
same story after like watching it and playing it in other
Sure.
games so many times.
yeah. I mean, as someone who very much did not play any of those games because
okay.
they've all been awful.
This says that Kakarot will feature the Boo arc.
Okay.
How many different developers are working on Dragon Ball games now? Because a fighting
At
game.
any given time, there's anywhere from 7 to 40 different teams. A lot like Warhammer.
Okay.
But
But the fighting game last year was a different. This is not the same people.
yeah, not the
Yeah,
same
no,
people.
it's
Uh,
Arc System, yeah.
yeah, and they just there's
There's like the Xenoverse games. There's
Right.
like the card game that was in arcades only, but made it to console last year.
there's some kind of figurine game that just got announced.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the manga or the anime still going on in Japan?
No,
I don't think so.
Dragon Ball Super just wrapped up in the
Right.
U.S.
Okay.
recently. I guess relatively recently, sometime last year.
Did they ever find all the Dragon Balls?
Oh yeah,
A few times, yeah.
They do that numerous times.
Yeah.
What do they wish for?
They're friends.
they
They'll come back.
wished.
come back.
Yeah, they basically like all
life.
the people we fucked up and got killed. Let's bring them all back.
Are
to
there
life,
rules for the
basically.
wishes? Like in
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
there are.
Can't wish for love.
Okay.
Can't wish for someone to die.
You can't wish for anything that is more power. You can't bring back anyone that's more powerful than the dragon.
Okay, yeah, I think I read this a while back. Just want to make sure I had it all fresh.
And then different sets of Dragon Balls will have different rules.
Oh,
so
okay.
the original set only
they're-
allows one wish, but then they make some new ones later that gives you 3 wishes.
you can't wish for more wishes.
No.
No.
Okay.
You just get eaten by the dragon then.
Yeah. But
Are there multiple dragons?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the education. I'm not up on my Dragon Ball.
Let's talk about the Black Dragon Balls.
Oh boy.
Is that a whole different set?
Oh yeah.
Are they bad?
It's a whole different show.
How many of those are there?
I don't know.
I think it's always 7.
Yeah, it's usually 7.
Yeah. There's Dragon Balls the size of worlds.
What?
Yeah.
More like a
They,
dragon.
they grant giant wishes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big wishes.
Big wishes.
It's like Mario 3.
Like John Cena.
Yeah. You got to win a tournament, though. Everything in Dragon Ball that's guaranteed is Dragon Balls and tournaments.
And things getting bigger.
Yes.
Okay. Escalating.
Escalation.
Yeah.
The numbers get the numbers get higher.
Got it. Did you guys ever play that Naruto open world game that
Yes.
Ubisoft did back on the 360?
I tried to
Yes.
like that.
I thought that I like that game.
yeah,
like
there's
that was
potential
I
there.
remember at the
And
time
I'm
people
not even a
into
Naruto
it.
fan, but it was just like, wow, this is an anime open world game that is actually quite cool.
Yeah, look, it looked
Like-
pretty neat
like
too.
It can be done.
Yeah.
That thing's cool.
Yeah, I remember people. I did not get into it, but I remember people that didn't care anything at
To
all
this
about the
day,
anime.
I
Were like,
still
"Hey, this
see
is
people
cool."
wearing the headbands.
Wow,
To
you know,
this
that game
day.
must have been popular.
Yeah.
They all went to Area 51.
Yeah.
Distinctive form of running. I've been fiddling around
Changed
with
everything.
I've been fiddling around with Wattam. Has anybody played that?
Yeah, that's charming.
Wattam the hell is that game about? Am I right?
Drugs.
Dude,
Is it about drugs?
Have you played it?
No.
It is. Fuck, man.
I don't know how to make.
Granted, I came to Katamari later than most people, I think, and I never played Nobi Boy. And did he do anything else between those two games?
I don't think
He hasn't put anything out in a
so.
long
Yeah, I
time
don't
before
think-
this, right?
Yeah.
So you're the mayor and you're
So, like,
holding hands and you're
dude, I don't
dancing
know.
and
I was just gonna say I don't know if I'm like less immunized to his brand of weirdness than most people, but like
I feel like
I
what
was
I
just
have
in-
seen of it does it looked Nobi Boy-ish
maybe
to me.
maybe like again I'm not familiar
yeah.
with that game, but like I just spent the first 30 minutes with this game just like in like increasingly high pitched tones, going like what the fuck.
Is it more a toy than a game, would you call it? Because is it just like, hey, there's a bunch of stuff and there's a bunch of interactions with that stuff, and you're just kind of going around doing things?
If those interactions
like there's
are
kind of a goal, or
individualized,
things kind of open up.
It
but-
took me a while to
yeah.
mechanically figure out what it reminded me of, and it actually hit me this morning. Do you remember Stacking, the Double Fine adventure game?
Yeah.
It's that thing of it's like a big world with a bunch of people like interacting with each other on their own, but you can take control of any of them at any time.
Ah, okay.
And most of them have a unique ability, contextual action type thing. It's kind of that.
Okay.
It's kind of just this big.
So Geist.
just like Geist.
Yeah.
Yeah, except Geist, if the main gameplay loop was eating other people,
Okay.
May as well be.
pooping them out.
Got it.
Definitely.
Well, actually, sorry. Sucking them up in a giant tree to turn them into fruit, and then
Yeah.
eating the fruit,
Sometimes.
then pooping out the fruit as poop,
Okay.
and then having a big sentient toilet show up and having the toilet flush the poop.
Yeah.
So that it comes out as shiny golden poop,
Ooh.
Got to polish that poop.
and then a giant bowling pin shows up
Mm-hmm.
and wants you to stack poops
Okay.
until you get a stack of poop that is exactly the same height as the giant bowling pin,
Great.
and then they
Can you
And-
get too
and
much
you go
poop?
on.
become absolutely,
Okay, all right.
and the bowling pin lets you know that you're too tall.
Motherfucker.
But when you get exactly the right height, they become great friends. Also, yes, the mayor wears a magic bowler hat
Yep. Everybody's very impressed with that.
that has a bomb underneath it,
He can blow shit up.
and you
Yeah.
can blow everybody up, and they are also very excited about that.
They love it. They fucking love it.
I think it might be incredible. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think it's
installed it.
I think it's
Sure, yeah.
amazing. Like the music, it is especially
Cool.
is absurd enough to tie it together in a really incredible way.
I installed it and forgot I installed it.
Oh man, you should check it out.
Yeah.
It's really something. It's got like quest names. Like every time you kind of finish an action, just another quest name pops up.
Huh.
They don't tell you what to do after that. You just sort of infer from the name of the next objective
That's fun.
what you should do.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing,
Yeah.
but I am pretty into it.
Cool.
Did you? How deep into it did you get?
Not that far. Yeah. I didn't get to the poops or the
Oh, you
bowling
didn't?
pin.
Oh, the
No.
bowling- okay.
Yeah, I didn't get that far.
Okay.
I think I got the gist of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back when I'm
Yeah.
drunk or something.
Yes.
And then
It seems to be made for
and I haven't had a drink for like a month and a half or
those
something
sorts
like
of
that.
things.
So
Yes.
Wattam is going by the wayside.
Does
for the
it
time being.
remind you at all of everything? The video game.
Yeah, but way more gamey than
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Like that thing seemed like a tech demo.
Right.
Like, yeah, that thing seemed like, hey, we just scripted a bunch of objects and threw them together to the extent that we don't even make you play it. You can just hit a go button and let it do its thing.
Sure.
Yeah, cool.
This is not it's kind of like that.
Right.
Like they will mill around and do stuff, but
Yeah.
like it's kind of on you to figure out what the next actual objective is and then do that.
I mean, actual objective is a pretty differentiator from pretty differentiator.
It definitely
from everything.
has things that it wants you to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't exactly tell you what they are, but and yeah, you need to see it and hear it in action to really get it. Like it just play it.
Yeah, I keep meaning to. Like I said, it's kind of like the weird thing about the Epic Game Store is I mentioned this around Game of the Year time is I'm just not in the habit of looking at it or loading it on a regular basis. So unless there's something like Control where I'm just like I'm actively coming back to this because I need to play this game, I really want to play this game.
Sure,
I completely forget that store and its games exist.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't have desktop notifications turned on for the Epic Game Launcher?
I don't launch the Epic Game Launcher.
Oh,
unless
can you
I'm
turn those off? I didn't even look.
You can. You can turn all notifications
I
on.
should look that up.
I like it because you get the free game every week and just pop in there and install it.
Yeah,
And
they're doing free games every day over the holiday.
Sundered is the new game, which looked really interesting, the Metroidvania. So
Yeah.
Oh,
that game's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right.
It's all right.
I don't know. I'll try it for myself and see how.
For $0,
Yeah,
why
$0.
not?
Yeah,
Give it a shot.
indeed.
I did my my like what did you play the most on PlayStation 4 stuff this morning,
I forgot you could do that. Yeah.
which
Did you find it accurate?
I don't know.
Yeah.
My top 3 were Mortal Kombat, Apex Legends, and Borderlands 3.
What?
That's funny.
I played a lot of Borderlands 3
Yeah.
in the process.
I would have
like,
assumed Call of Duty would have.
I've
its
only
way
been
on
playing
there.
it on PC.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Makes sense.
So no. And same with like Destiny. Like I only play that on PC. And then it
Right.
gets down like a little bit lower. There's another number for like because it says how much time you spent using PlayStation Plus. So Apex doesn't count for that because it's a
Right.
free to play game. You don't need Plus to play it.
Right.
So it was like the game you played online most on PS4 this year, Anthem, 6 hours. And I was like, what? Did I just leave Anthem? Because I mostly played that on PC.
Yeah.
You were
Did I
just
just
trying
like
to log
leave
in
it
for 6
running?
hours,
Yeah, like
What the? This
there was
cannot be
a
right.
weird bug where I remember standing on a platform waiting for a mission to end.
What are they telling you, Brad?
This can't. Something is weird about their
Those
tracking.
things are weird. Yeah,
This says there is no way I played Death Stranding for 122 hours.
I could totally believe that.
I played a good bit of Death Stranding, but that seems insane.
I do that a lot.
Or
Where
like time at a menu.
Yeah. Or I leave game running overnight or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember leaving it on that much. Ugh.
It was probably on for like 3 days.
I did build an awful lot of highways, but
Yeah.
man.
What does that game look like now compared to when it came out? I haven't played it, so is it just like all built?
I don't know.
Bridges everywhere.
I went into this break, or well, actually, it was a ways before the break started. Let's say I was looking forward to the break, thinking Death Stranding might be the #1 game I was looking forward to getting back to.
Didn't touch it.
And then we had our Game of the Year conversation,
Right. Yeah.
where I heard about everything
Uh-huh.
in the last few hours of that game,
Yeah.
and I never even launched it
Yeah.
during this holiday.
Yeah, man.
I actually had a friend boot it up over the week, this past weekend. Kind of barren.
Really?
Yeah, like
Really?
I guided him through the early parts of the game. We kind of made it to chapter 3,
Oh, okay.
where like stuff starts opening up.
Yeah,
At least.
that's where the stuff is real. Because like
Yeah.
all that initial stuff is all tutorial.
Yeah, it's all
with
just a
lot
bunch of
fake roads
ladders
and-
from
yeah.
Igor
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, just like a couple random signs.
Wow.
I don't know if like it gatekeeps like they won't open up roads just yet until
Right.
you like get to build them yourself. But it was kind of barren, just like a couple loose packages.
Yeah,
but nothing.
My sense, and I could be wrong about this early on, was that your stuff starts breaking down after 2 weeks ish.
Right.
That's when I started getting messages relative to when I started playing the game. I started seeing the messages of like, hey, your climbing gear near Central Dot is starting to
was
degrade.
The last time I played it, I got a bunch of those notifications.
So I was guessing
just
between
like, all right.
between like probably 2 and 4 weeks is when your stuff breaks down. So it's definitely
yeah,
been,
that's
I
right.
guess, long enough since launch. It's been a couple months.
Well, I wonder,
for
like,
stuff
you know,
to start
is-
disappearing.
Death Stranding feels like a game that people make their decisions about pretty early on, right? Like the people that are like clued in enough to the video games and the things around them are the people most likely to know that that game exists.
Yeah.
Period. And they're the ones that are going to buy it at launch and play it, or you know, buy it at launch and not play it, or decide they're never going to buy it. And so I wonder if that's the case of just like, hey, like people played it and moved on.
Oh yeah, I would believe that. The bigger thing to me is I'm surprised that the developers wouldn't maybe like bend their own rules a little bit and like kind of goose the
I would-
population of stuff.
So that's
to-
the thing. I would assume that they do that. So I'd have to imagine they do that. Is like, okay, we know how many items we want to pull in every time we hit a server.
Right.
I think that's the thing I've been most fascinated about this game is as how they do those determinations.
Right.
And seeing you or hearing you say that it's like kind of barren makes me wonder if they fucked that up.
I mean,
like,
he didn't go through like the normal paths that I would go through, so I'm assuming like he didn't refuse to like climb mountains and stuff. He would go around them. So I'm wondering like he just missed them. But even when he'd hit the like R1 to get the little peeper to see the area and everything, just not a bunch of stuff popping up.
Yeah. I wonder if like chapter 3 is far enough into where like they really see a ton of stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was in chapter 3 from pre-release playing when actual launch happened and played like that first weekend, and it was fucking everywhere.
Wow.
Like there were vehicles.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Vehicles piled on top of vehicles and just junk all over the place.
Yeah, I wonder if like the people that are still playing the game or like picked it up over the holiday are further in where he wouldn't see a lot of stuff popping up. Like maybe like in the later chapters, like it's littered with shit.
But everyone's early game stuff is already deteriorated and wiped away.
Right.
I would just assume that they would,
I would
say,
too.
oh, here's players put these things down. They got a lot of likes. So when someone new comes along, we're going to pull a mix of high like and low like items from the game's lifespan because we know that'll be useful or the right amount of useful to these players coming to it. But I wonder if they were just like, nope, our rules are our rules.
Maybe they're just
and
that
it really deteriorates. We're not going to make this good. We're going to stick to our thing.
That committed to their vision.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to be that, right?
I mean, you guys aren't going to help each other, then fuck all of you.
There are how many nukes are left on these forward operating bases? It's a real number.
Man. And I couldn't tell if he was he's a big Kojima fan, so I couldn't tell if he was like legitimately liking it or forcing himself to like it. You know, one of the early delivery missions is you're delivering a body. And I was looking at his face the whole time to see if he would crack. And it's like, really? You're not gonna say anything. You've been playing this game for 5 minutes. We've watched cutscenes for like almost 2 hours now. You're gonna take this face value? Yep. You like this? You liked it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to poo-poo on anyone's fun. But
Whatever.
like,
Yeah. No. People. I think there are people who like that game and they're genuine about it. I don't think people are necessarily lying to themselves.
Yeah, like that.
They might be wrong, but that's fine.
That like late chapter 3 period is like that was the point when I most genuinely liked that game. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like, I wasn't even like lying to myself or whatever. I was genuinely pretty engrossed in that thing at that point.
I think he was expecting something more closer to Metal Gear, there being like a lot of action. And then when I told him, it's like, yeah, you should avoid killing people because it could seriously mess up your time. He kind of seemed turned off by it. But then like when the camera pulls back for the first time and like the music's kicking in, he was digging it. But then he forgot about the mechanic of holding, like bracing yourself. So he fell down a fucking mountain and it was hilarious while like low roar is playing.
Yep.
Highs and lows in that game. Yeah.
I'll try and check in with him, see if anything else pops out.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to hear.
I want to get back into No Man's Sky.
I did play some of that over this break. I started a new game.
They added like a music sequencer that you can just set it up and have it make music or have it play music.
Like
a kind of miniature sequencer and all this other stuff that's like doesn't seem like it's as robust as maybe you would want, but
sure.
Last summer they put out that was it called Beyond? I think was the big update that had VR and all that stuff.
That's kind of when I came back to it,
right? And I thought for sure that was their last big update because that's like I think that was the 3-year mark, and it seemed like it had like everything I could possibly think of to put in that game. And then they put out another named update like in late November, I think, like right before the holiday. I can't remember what that had in it, but they just can't stop updating that thing.
Yeah, like the last chunk that they put in really seems focused around making it a lot easier to bring players together and to kind of ease the like, hey, let's do some multiplayer stuff, like making that a lot more viable, or maybe kind of easing the restrictions about like leaping between universes or whatever. Because like you get that like there's like the warp gate stuff. You get all the
Yeah, I was just getting to the. Did you start a new game or did you just jump back in?
I haven't touched it in a long since Beyond, but I stuck with my original save on PS4 because I was like, well, maybe I'll get all the trophies in this game someday, which actually seems like not impossible to do.
Yeah,
but
just have to play a lot of it.
Yeah, it's just a time thing. So I still have bases there or whatever, and there's some part of me that's just like, well, if I'm going to play more of this, maybe I should start over on PC. But I kind of don't want to start over.
Yeah.
Because I already did all the early game stuff.
Yeah, I started a new save, and I doubt much of this is super new as of the last update, but I was shocked how much like longer and more gradual the tutorial ramp is in that thing now. Like they really hold your hand for a very long time, just having you do thing after thing after thing of, all right, we're going to have you do each activity there is to do in this game once in sequence, so you know how to do everything now.
Is it still possible to
There's
get
a lot more of it.
a bad starting planet that you just
Not
can't?
real. They all seem pretty much the same.
That was an issue when it first came out, right? Like some people were just on acid
I
planets.
think so. So I've probably started 4 or 5 saves over the last couple of years in that game on different platforms, just messing around, and like you're not always going to get the same planet. Like sometimes it'll be an ice planet or an acid planet or a fire planet or whatever, but it's always like a little bit hostile, but not too hostile. You'll always get a storm at about the same time.
And it's always like, hey, you can get out of it. You know, there's a way out of this.
It's always it's always, hey, go get sodium to survive this storm that's about to come in and charge up your stuff. Like they really,
Not with my blood pressure.
again, they really hold your hand. Yeah, I got to the point where they're having you do a bunch of base building and build a warp gate to a space station and back and that kind of thing. And
so yeah, then I
seems
think
like way more of a
coming
game.
back to it and using my existing save, like it still triggered all that base building tutorial stuff. I think again, or because the way it had changed.
No.
Like now you have like you can refine ore on your suit to a certain extent. Instead of having to like carry around a refinery, plop it down, do it, pick it all back up.
They were still having me do that all the time, so I must not have gotten the suit refining stuff.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't touched it in a year or something now, but
I was shocked the first time I got to a space station and the aliens were walking around.
Yeah,
like
totally.
It feels active. It feels lively. Like
they've definitely done some stuff. Like you can read, because there's a little bit more multiplayer now. There are more options for like defining the look of your character.
Yeah. Like armor and or spacesuit cosmetic stuff seems like a much bigger focus. It seems like way more of a game now.
Yeah, totally.
But still one of those.
Oh well, yeah.
Very much grind materials to recharge things and like craft.
I wonder if I can still get murdered on my initial starting planet.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
If you go far enough, you might find some sentinels that'll.
No, you mean other players
other
just
players.
like strafing you? Yeah.
Did you meet another player?
Absolutely.
You met another player?
I met another player.
Wow! And all these times that I've been fiddling with
on
the
my
early
starting
game.
planet.
Wow! I've never seen another player. Never seen any sign of other human beings in that game. Wow!
One of my favorite things now is to I realize to talk about WoW every time I come on the show, but the WoW Classic players, they did PvP, World PvP for a while before the Battlegrounds, and the amount of people complaining about being camped and like, this is not super fun. I'm on a PvP server, I signed up for it, but man, they're just fucking ganking me all day long.
Got to stay out of it.
The be careful what you wish for segment
like, hey, motherfucker,
I know.
WoW Classic.
Do you not remember 2004?
A lot of these people do not, and they are just, you should change it. So you should hurry up the Battlegrounds because World PvP is not fun. Like, dude,
you gotta.
Well, when the Battlegrounds come in, are they going to disable World PvP?
No. They're saying they wanted. I believe some of the complaints were like they should hurry up the Battlegrounds to get people who want to do PvP out of the world. Which
that's not going to fucking do that. If anything,
You remember the old honor system where you have to you basically have to play 100 hours a week to get the highest level of like gladiator gear. So these are the people who are really fucking going for it. And people complaining about that system too. Like it's basically you have to be online for like 14 hours a day if you want the higher. The amount of, and I don't have any problems with people liking Classic, but as soon as I played that beta, I was like, this is no longer for me. And the people who are realizing that now, it's a little funny to see like, hey, this is the way it was back in the day.
It was like, hey, there's a whole other, like, if you want this, we have a whole other World of Warcraft for you over here that we've been keeping up to date and ironing out all of these issues for.
Yeah, it's it's in the same way of you getting murdered on your home planet. It's a lot of people complaining about like, I walked into Westfall and I was murdered immediately.
Say, if you're gonna set foot in the Arathi Highlands, you know exactly what you're getting into.
That bridge over there is going to be a rogue on there, no matter what.
It's why I stopped playing WoW originally, but.
Yeah,
I remember how exciting
I didn't cry about it. I was like, yep, I guess that's this game.
I remember how exciting that proposition was back then. It was like, man, anything could happen. Like a bad, like an evil player could be waiting around any corner.
An evil player could sit here near this quest zone and murder people and prevent them from making progress.
Right. Well, yeah. I was like, man, it'll be so exciting. You're gonna get in all these like random duels, and like I might like fight the bad guys when I see them. And in practice, it was like, I don't want to screw up their good time. I'm not gonna. kill this guy just because I can, but then they absolutely would do that to you constantly.
But we still talking about games we played?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What else you got?
I feel like I might
What
have
else,
skipped you.
what else y'all got?
Yo, Monster Hunter. They added snow.
Yeah.
Lots
It
more
came out,
snow.
It came out on the PC.
Yeah, I talked about it last week. We don't have to talk about it again. But
Any issues? I saw it's been eating some save
yeah,
files.
I heard something about that. I have not encountered any of that so far. So knock on wood. But yeah, still having a great time with.
It looked really
Monster
neat on
Hunter.
UPF.
Yeah,
Those people just jumping in and fucking up that barrier.
Yeah, that was seamless. Yeah, you just throw up the SOS flare, and a few minutes later, you had a full group of people, and we took it down.
How are you liking the clutch claw and mounting monsters and all that stuff? Are you doing?
It's hard for me to integrate that into so much hundreds of hours of muscle memory. And I'm not finding it as useful as I had once initially thought it would be. It's cool for knocking enemies into traps and whatnot, but it's not. And it never was going to be this big game changer or anything like that. But
So that fight took 40
interesting.
minutes. Is that usually about the half an hour for one of those?
Yeah,
kind of quest
absolutely. It
fights?
can be. Or, you get a good group and it's over in 5, something like that.
It felt for me watching that it was a little frustrating not knowing. I get that there's segmentations where
health bars
it runs
and
away.
such, and
it just felt like it was you're doing 8 damage every swing, and I had no references whether that's good or bad or anything like that.
I'm in a weird spot right now where my weapon is underpowered right now, and I can't fight anything. I've got to progress further in the story in order to get access to stuff that I can make a higher power weapon, and I'm there now. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm actually going back and grinding, killing some shit that I kind of overlooked the first time going through, because I'm finding that I don't have the right kind of decorations or charms and shit that I would have made had I not had the defender armor.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I just kind of I've got to the max of that, and I'm oh shit, I'm really underpowered now because I don't have a lot of this stuff, which is kind of a bummer. But it's easy enough, and I'm powerful enough to where I can go through and just grind out. I fought one particular monster. I fought him 10 times, in the span of maybe 5 minutes or something like that. It was just going in there and just fucking killing him. And that was a lot of fun. But Monster Hunter is the only thing I'm playing right now.
Do you think
I keep trying to go back. I installed Battlefront 2. I know Ben's been playing that an awful lot, and I wanted to talk to him about that more.
Huh.
That game looks really cool, and it's just Star Wars is, it's kind of coming off the hotspot. The movie just came out. And
I guess they're still adding a lot of stuff to that game.
Yeah,
I still see
they're adding
announcements
of Skywalker stuff,
new content going into that thing. All the time.
And from what I understand, they're
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, they're
The
fixing
multiplayer
it.
game?
Obviously, the loot box stuff is kind of gone. They do have premium currency that.
Yeah, I hear the progression is still pretty grindy.
I'm sure,
even though they pulled a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah, but if you don't really care about that, I don't. Then this might be a real cheap. I don't know. Way to get into it.
That thing's 2 years old now.
Yeah.
But I think we talked a little bit. It was on UPF, I forget, but people never, or there's still a contingent of people that never really got happy with Battlefield 5. With a lot of the time to kill changes kind of went one way than the other one. A lot of that stuff's gone back and forth, and people took a lot of issue with a lot of elements of that game from a gameplay perspective. So it seems like Battlefront 2 became the fallback position of just we don't like Battlefield, so we're going to go back to this, which at least plays right.
Huh.
I
wouldn't expect a lot of overlap between those audiences, but maybe
it's the same goddamn game. It's just one has a Hoth level, it's. But in terms of it, well, maybe.
I just think of Battlefront as a little bit more arcadey.
Sure,
I guess,
a little bit more arcadey. You're not wrong, but generally speaking, it's still hey, these are still similar modes and all that stuff.
Also, no dice game last year, for the first time in fucking how long?
Yeah,
did DICE not put out a shooter for a year?
Well, now it's they're going to rename DICE LA and give it to Vince Zampella,
right?
And all this other stuff. EA just seems not in upheaval, but EA's clearly got to make changes with the way that they put out games and develop them and all that other stuff. You look at from Anthem to Battlefield to Need for Speed, they're just not getting it done the way that they sometimes have over the years. So yeah, if they're at least like acknowledging, hey, we're going to take a step back and we're going to support Battlefield for another year or whatever, especially if like, whatever, we're in a transition year for consoles, stuff like that. Like this would be the year to skip the same way Forza did. Makes sense.
Oh, they got to have something for those consoles, right?
Oh yeah, for those consoles, sure. Yeah, but like, I mean, like last year was not. Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get to cross play on Monster Hunter? Cross save, or do you think has that ship sailed on this one?
I think it's sailed. Yeah,
You don't think
they've
now that-
already
now that
announced that that they're not going to be providing or not. No more expansions past Iceborne
for World.
For World.
Okay, so the next thing will be a full on proper sequel.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
maybe that's the game that hopefully they get up to sync or parity.
You'd like to think so.
Every
Yeah, I would-
platform.
yeah, definitely like.
It's
to
still
think so.
baffling.
And they're still saying
it's
that,
so
that they're
weird.
going to try and get the things up to date.
Like the events, the scheduled stuff.
Yeah, it's so funny looking at their Twitter. It's like, oh yeah, Iceborne's out in 3 weeks or something, and it's like currently available on PlayStation and Xbox.
Right. Like I feel like everybody I follow on Twitter who is still a big Monster Hunter fan has considered this PC release like the actual real release of Iceborne.
They've been waiting
because that's all anybody actually wanted to play.
Well, yeah, and it probably ends up being significantly less work for a number of people to get those events in sync. And maybe that's just on the promotions front, but like just the events are all implemented, but I'm sure like rolling them out, taking them out of the game, like just like keeping track of the two schedules must be a pain in someone's ass. So like, why not just get it in sync and just be done with it? And,
they've said that they just want to make sure the reason that the PC is so far behind is they want to make sure that their PC ports are up to snuff. And I think they've been doing a really good job, just with the exception of like maybe the save bug dealies, but. I think they've been doing okay. Like I think it's time to finally get the shit in lockstep with the console release.
Yeah,
it's time.
A lot of mons to hunt.
Yeah, man, I love hunting mons. I'm playing Rescue Rangers too.
What?
Yes,
the NES classic.
My son's been playing Rescue Rangers. He's getting good at it.
Okay,
he's getting like he's able to jump. He's able to like hide in the boxes and stuff, like and have the robot dogs come and hit him, and he loves it. The Rescue Rangers are huge in my house right now.
The Rescue Rangers was like the one of the Disney after school deals that I just completely missed.
Oh, it's so good.
Game or TV show. Like I was all in on DuckTales, and like Darkwing Duck is pretty cool, and I saw some Tailspin here and there, but somehow I just know Rescue Rangers.
I had kind of aged out like all that stuff. I think by the time it hit, I was pretty much done with it. DuckTales might be the one exception where like
you don't age out of that theme song, man.
Early DuckTales are like, okay, this seems okay, but I'm not going to watch it because I'm going to go be edgy.
Yes, it's time.
Yeah,
we're also watching Tron back to back and over, and he's just in love with Dillinger, the bad guy from the original Tron. I have no idea why.
Is it because he's got a cool touchscreen desk?
I think so. Yeah. He's so enthralled with Dillinger. He loves saying Dillinger over and over, and he's like, he learned that Dillinger has a son in the second in Legacy, and he's always wanted to see the part with Dillinger's son.
Who's plays Dillinger? It's British actor. He was the voice of John Arenicus in Baldur's Gate 2. I remember.
Oh, really?
I don't remember his name at all. That's something.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know his name.
John Arenicus.
I remember that he was a much bigger.
David Warner.
David Warner. That's it. Is a classic Romulan, I think, or was he a Klingon at some point?
I think he was a Klingon.
Right.
I think he just passed away. Like,
Is your son potentially falling for the British accents? Make people seem cooler than they really are.
He's into bad guys.
Okay.
He thinks bad guys are cool.
Where does he get that from? I wonder.
I don't know. Not like he has a thing for Jason Voorhees or.
Get him into Stone Cold Steve Austin, the ultimate anti-hero.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
all right.
I've been playing a lot of Magic Arena.
Yeah.
I played it pretty much
free to play game.
every day of the last year, and it's one of the things that I'm kind of mildly obsessed with. It's about to phase into a new expansion on Thursday. So
That's like a Hearthstone clone, right?
yeah, it's totally crazy. It's one of my favorite like free to play stuff because you can play a lot without spending any money. So of course I spent $50 on packs the other day. I'm roped in. I'm all in. on Magic.
That's better than like Path of Exile because you played that for hundreds of hours.
Yeah,
and
and
never put a dime into
I
it.
should have put into some money into some Slash expansions, but that game is floated by the whales. They have like $600 passes.
Yeah,
for
that's ridiculous. Is that thing huge?
It's big.
Like,
It's
is it
massive for them.
is it like quietly some massive, huge success?
It's very profitable for them, I believe. They're Australian or New Zealand, I think.
Is that anything like Raid Shadow Legends?
There's a lot of mobile action
I've
RPGs.
seen people implying is like the biggest game ever now.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd never even heard that phrase
There's a bunch of weird Asian
before
action RPGs.
2 days ago, and might be the most generic title for a game
Raid
I've ever
Shadow
heard
Legends.
in my
Yeah.
life.
that's a bad
I have no idea what it is.
name.
Sorry, Magic Arena.
Yeah, Magic Arena. So I've been playing a bunch. I got to the end of the Mastery Pass, which is like the seasonal pass, 100 levels, which I was really surprised by. But a new...
What'd you get? Did you get enough money to buy the next pass?
No, you spend 3,400 gems and you get 200,000 gems back, but you also get like a million packs. So I'm going to do a stream on Monday with our moderator, Gino Grico, who's way more good at the magics than I am. So we're going to open up a bunch of packs on Monday.
Ooh.
At some point. Yeah. Cool. Might be a 2-stream Monday for the... I don't know. Can we commit to that? But never know.
Call the cops.
Pack opening bonanza.
Apart from that, it's just a lot of Final Fantasy. I've been just grinding on those two for a long time now.
Cool. How deep into that?
I'm like 66.
What in terms of expansions? Where are you?
I'm in the middle of Stormblood. The new one is Shadowbringers, which is really bizarre because they're both SB.
Okay.
And the Super Bowl's coming up, so I don't know what my goddamn abbreviations are going to be, but I'm in the middle of Stormblood.
Is that the second expansion, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There are 3 total so far, and then a million patches after each expansion. So, game's really good. It's just it's a lot of cutscenes. Holy shit! I think I said it on my Game of the Year list. Like, you really are playing this as a Final Fantasy game. And
Are you into the story at that point? Like that's where
Yes,
that's
you
where
are.
people say the story really starts getting good. Right?
It's not. It's a Final Fantasy story, so it doesn't. Like, I haven't. People always say they're moved to tears by everything. Like, it's people die and they die. Like, I was honestly more.
And they die.
Yeah, it's a lot of kind of Final Fantasy protagonists.
You just broke Michael Heim's heart.
I know. It's the story. I'm interested in it, but it's not something I'm.
So what do you think they'll name the next expansion if they're going to keep this SB
I
thing?
don't know, Super Bowl,
Like Super Bowl,
Super Bowl,
Shockbound.
Shockbound. That's a good one. We should patent that before and register shockbound.com.
Great.
Okay, so they can't use it, and we'll sell it to them for at least $100.
No,
At
I'm
least,
gonna
yeah.
keep it.
At least 100.
Straight balling.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
that's
Straight
the next
balling.
expansion.
It's just
for
a
Final
fucking
Fantasy
all gold
14.
chocobos.
Wearing gold chains.
Yeah.
That's about what I've been playing.
Jan, you got anything you want to talk about?
Just a little thing. I remember a while ago, Ben Pack had messaged me about competitive Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
Yeah. And I needed something to tear me away from Pokemon, so I thought, like, what better than to dip into a different turn-based strategy thing that's very niche.
Let me just establish real fast.
Yes.
Was the original game multiplayer in any way?
I don't
Or is-
quite remember. I think you could play against other players.
Okay, I was just wondering if this is something they have just grafted onto the old game.
I do. Yeah, I think it was either 3 or 4 that they introduced multiplayer combat where you could go against another player. But yeah, a group of people very dedicated online have taken Mega Man Battle Network 6, put a bunch of tools to help people get into it via Discord and all that stuff of getting people online to go against other folks. I'm getting completely decimated because all these people have been like, it's been their day-to-day thing for a while.
Not a lot of new players entering the scene.
Is this correct? This is a Game Boy Advance game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are people just like hacking multiplayer like online?
Totally. Yeah. And connecting via like a fake link cable,
Yeah.
like the back end and stuff. It's pretty neat how well it works, actually. A couple of folks just like hovering around in the Discord, just like people are very, very into it. I don't know how far I'll get into it because the barrier of entry is kind of hard where I'm at right now. I'd maybe need like an army of people to join with me so we can all like scrub around together. But it's cool for what it's worth. It just makes me really miss that franchise. I know they're talking about bringing back the Mega Man Zero series like on the Switch, re-releasing that. So, fingers crossed, maybe one day we'll be able to jack back in.
I wonder. Those were neat games. Like,
Yeah.
it was a really cool take on like not even, I was gonna say really cool take on Mega Man, but it's like that could be anything. It doesn't need to be Mega Man. It was kind of cool that it had Mega Man references in it and stuff like that, but it never wasn't like it was like
it scratched that itch of like the weird future internet that like would be cool. It reminded me of Tron. It's like Tron and Reboot, right?
Yeah.
And I'd love for something similar to come back. I know, like I've seen a couple copycat games on itch just not do the same thing.
Yeah.
Trying to get away from Pokemon, little bits and pieces. It's not working though.
You know, you gotta wait. You just bide your time for the expansion.
There's all that new stuff.
I thought I'd be out.
We'll talk about here in a little bit.
No, you never.
Well, speaking of Pokemon expansions, among other things, we got a bunch of news to discuss.
All right.
But first, let's rest our vocal cords for a couple minutes, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about it. This week in the news, we went from like no news at this time yesterday to a bunch of it. And here
News
it is.
happened.
That's right. Things happen.
They knew that we were recording this
That's
on
right.
Tuesday.
I put a
Newsmageddon.
call out into the universe, and the universe answered.
Give me news.
Here it is.
News the rock.
And they're like,
Top
all right.
story, fresh from my inbox.
Ooh.
Subject line reads, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Esports League announced.
What?
Okay. I'm not really good, but I'll go.
Yeah, let's go.
Culminating in finals at EVO.
Wow.
But it's not on stage.
The Power Rangers Battle for the
build
Grid
their own
League.
stage.
The builder on stage.
The Battle for the Grid League has planned stops
They can
at
build their own grid.
Frosty Faustings.
The grid. Yeah, Frosty
Final
Faustings.
final round.
Yep.
NorCal
Atlanta.
Regionals.
That's in NorCal.
April Annihilation.
I'm not sure where that is.
Sounds rough.
That's in New Jersey.
Okay.
Damn it.
Combo Breaker.
Chicago.
CEO Gaming, and then EVO.
Florida. Okay.
So,
Well,
Jan, are you ready to hit the road?
I am going to have to take a bunch of assignments.
I don't know. I
That's my
guess there's enough of a community around that game to
More phenomenal.
support a league.
Interesting.
And yeah, we've talked about it before. There's some really knowledgeable folk that are working on that game to help balance it and just like expand it. And
Like legit?
yeah, like
Okay.
Clockwork has come through here. He was a big Marvel guy, Marvel 3 guy, and he's come in here and done videos with GameSpot, and he's currently working on the game.
Wow,
so.
that's just wild considering the state that
I
thing
don't-
launched in.
I don't love that game. Like I played it somewhat recently, and I did not enjoy it all that much. But it seems like it's got stuff going for it that if you did, it's
This went
it's
from
a game.
It's way better than expected.
Yeah,
this went from a joke news story to
That's cool.
that game is actually a thing.
I like it when smaller games like that
of course.
get a dedicated following
Totally.
and they have a company that will back it like that. That's
But wasn't it like straight up missing like sound effects or music or something at
Totally,
launch?
yeah,
Like it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like barely finished.
yeah.
The story wasn't there, from what I recall.
No story,
Yeah.
no win quotes, very scaled down roster.
Was it an early access thing or
No, they sold it on I think Switch is the first platform it came out on.
To be continued. We have to ship this by the end of the quarter.
I
kind of
guess,
thing?
but they stuck with it. So good on them.
Yeah, they were selling a season pass right out the gate, but they delivered with that.
Yeah.
Which Trini were you excited
Dragon Armor
about? Dragon
Trini.
Armor Trini.
It's the only true Trini.
Ah, dude, R.I.P.
Spoilers.
To the dragon armor.
No, to Trini.
Trini.
Oh man.
All right. Here's the actual first story. Like rumors started. Rumors started percolating on Twitter yesterday morning that this was going to break, and then sure enough, in the afternoon, it did. Sony is not going to E3.
What?
Sony, for a second year in a row, is not
They're gonna
going to
miss this
E3.
twice. Oh,
They'll be in LA though.
In the year that they are launching the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
They're not going to E3.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, totally. Like last year, you could totally understand just from like a business reason or business case.
Yeah, when you look at what they had coming out,
Right,
and
it's like
the
they don't have a lot
info
of
they
games.
did or didn't want to say,
Right,
and
like they don't have much to talk about with the new
but
platform yet. Like the previous year was a little weird, but
knowing
the
that
press conference and
Microsoft
stuff.
is likely to get out there a little bit more next gen stuff because they're behind. Like, I could see you going like, we just don't need to do it.
But this year,
It's interesting, yeah, because they've always used this as like a jumping off point, or their platform actually to kind of announce.
Yeah, so this is
big console announcements.
This gamesindustry.biz story had a paragraph in it that really hit me when I read it. PlayStation has used E3 as the place to unveil details of its next consoles since the very beginning, attending the first E3 in 1995 to detail the U.S. launch of the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
The company's success at E3 2013 was viewed as a major moment in the build-up to the PS4, which resulted in Sony reclaiming its market leadership from Xbox. Like, I forgot really how like deeply intertwined the history of the PlayStation actually has been with E3.
Yeah, well, now they have Wired magazine. So.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
sure.
now they have Europe. Now they have the UK. Like that's
now they have the internet.
Well, sure, but also all the leadership structure of that company has changed and is now based out of Jim Ryan and the stuff that was Sony Computer Entertainment Europe.
Sure.
SCEE.
Yeah, but I don't think all that stuff had gone fully into effect last year.
It hadn't, but
so this has been in the works for a while.
Kind of, but it was heading in that direction, I think, by last year.
Probably. But I just mean I think the bigger, I don't know, boondoggle or whatever you want to call it is on the ESA side.
Oh yeah,
rather than the Sony side.
I mean, like ESA has failed to make that show seem like something that Sony needs to participate in, and
safe for journalists at this point.
That's a whole separate thing.
So like that's a failure on the ESA's part to make it seem attractive to a company as large as Sony for sure. But like also Sony's needs have changed, and I think that they
seem more fan focused now than.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's their language around this thing. But
I don't know that I don't know that I buy that. I think that it's really just like you've seen a shift in power. They have centralized a lot of the core leadership, and they have not done it in the U.S. Right. So like now Gamescom, which way more people attend. Think about it that way. Like if the ESA is trying to pivot E3 into something that the public can attend and get something out of, then suddenly you look at it and go like, well, I can go to Gamescom for that, and there are like 10 times or five times as many people, whatever it was.
Is massive.
Like, people camp outside. At least they used to when it was on.
Dude, holy shit!
So why would if you're trying to be that kind of public focused thing, E3 still isn't that show. Even if they pivot and try to get more of the public in there, Gamescom is already doing a better job at that.
2018 Gamescom was 370,000 people.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Like, I don't know how much. Like, I think E3 has probably peaked in like 67.
I think 70
like
was
those aren't paid. Those are including journalists.
That was in industry. It was an industry year when
paid
it peaked.
thing is
the paid thing's weird.
Here, I might as well read the Sony statement on this. After thorough evaluation, SIE has decided not to participate in E3 2020. We have great respect for the ESA as an organization, but we do not feel the vision of E3 2020 is the right venue for what we are focused on this year. We will build upon our global events strategy in 2020.
Global events.
By participating in hundreds of consumer events across the globe. Our focus is on making sure
the truck is back.
Yeah, like hundreds of events is, Our focus is on making sure fans feel part of the PlayStation family and have access to play their favorite content. We have a fantastic lineup of titles coming to PlayStation 4. And with the upcoming launch of PlayStation 5, we are truly looking forward to a year of celebration with our fans. Would you like to hear the ESA's response to this?
I read it. I love it, honestly. And keep in mind, also, before you get into this, I want to at least, like, tonally, this is a statement they gave to GameIndustry.biz.
Right.
A industry-focused, not a public-focused.
Yeah, fair.
Like, the tone of this is very much set to the publication they're giving it to.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
they did. They also published it on their own website.
Okay, well then that's on the blog, or
like there is a special page on the ESA.com.
Oh, on the ESA. Okay, on the ESA. All right. Okay. Well, no one's going to the ESA.
No, you're right, but still, man.
Still, go ahead and read this astoundingly.
Holy shit. That word is in here twice.
Like this.
Is it twice? Oh, shit. Okay.
E3 is a signature event celebrating the video game industry and showcasing the people, brands, and innovations redefining entertainment, loved by billions of people around the world. E3 2020 will be an exciting, high-energy show featuring new experiences, partners, exhibitor spaces, activations, and programming that will entertain new and veteran attendees alike. Exhibitor interest in our new activations is gaining the attention of brands that view E3 as a key opportunity to connect with video game fans worldwide.
They're finally going to activate the sleeper units.
Yeah.
That
The E3 super soldiers that have been
programmed,
developed.
Yeah, and developed
in the catacombs beneath the LA Convention Center.
Oh my God!
Can you actually inform me what an activation is? Is that just like a one-on-one connection?
I think it's kind of like engagement.
It's an
instance of engagement.
It's the physical manifestation of your marketing plan.
Okay.
And it's meant to be. It usually is in this case with something like E3. It's used in like experiential marketing.
Sure.
Where you've got we're building this booth. And we've got this activation that we're doing, like the GameSpot truck.
Sure.
Where the New Day shows up and throws out pancakes, and it's sponsored by whoever sponsored it or whatever, and people can stop and play video games at it and maybe sign up for a thing, or maybe do this, or maybe get more informed about this, or see the sponsor's thing. That's an activation.
Okay. That's a weird way of putting it.
I think activation might be a unit of measurement. You know how, like liter is a measurement of volume. Hertz is a measurement of times per second.
Okay.
One activation is a measurement of one instance of engagement, of brand engagement. Of time. How many activations are you running on this thing?
Yeah, or like, hey, here we've got this sponsored space. We're partnering with this sponsor to do this thing. That is an activation.
Okay.
And so you get people through there, and then hopefully they engage with the sponsor along the way, and blah blah blah.
Tweet with a hashtag.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Like all that. Yes, exactly. 1,000% that.
This event will deliver 3.7 activations
per user
per activation. The thing is an activation. It's not necessarily. Anyway, it's. So when you look at that leaked deck out of the ESA about what they want to do to E3 and how they want to change it and entertain people while they're waiting in line to be activated.
Yes.
That statement fits right in with that stuff. And it's, I don't know. I feel like they have not made a clear case of what they want the show to be like publicly. Like it's just kind of going off that leaked deck. So it's kind of hard to go too far in that direction. And you'd like to think that like a lot of publishers that feel the show is valuable in its current form or to them would be like, no, we don't. No, we don't need to bring in celebrities to have them sign autographs near our game just to get people to wait in line. Like we're here to do this. But I don't know, like the show, the value of the show we've talked about for years and how the value, the ROI for people going in and buying a booth and all this other stuff has been on the decline for a while, it feels like. So
Microsoft's still pretty much all in though, right? Like,
no.
Well, they own the theater next door.
Yeah,
they have the naming rights to the Microsoft Theater.
Okay.
And so
they're in a weird gray area where they have their own venue, so they might as well show up, but they're not. They pulled out of the show floor last year.
Yeah, but also they're still a part of the ESA, and your show badge is what gets you into that space. So it's ostensibly an extension of E3.
You kind of, yeah.
And you know,
they're still,
but still, like, to me, whether Sony came back was the bellwether for the future of E3 going into this.
Right.
In a fucking hardware year.
Yeah.
In a console year.
But if you look at the focus, like, okay, like Sony can have a press conference anywhere, right? So they don't need to have it at E3. And if E3 is going further in this direction of just like, hey man, come by this booth, we're going to let you play this fucking basketball game that came out last year against an actual basketball player, and then we're going to give you a fucking thing of orange juice and send you on your way, and please tweet about it, and then here's a wall you can take Instagram photos in front of.
Please activate.
That's not what Sony doesn't need to be there for that, to announce hardware, to do all the other stuff. And then you factor in on top of all that, Jim Ryan runs the show out of that territory, and their entire strategy for how they view the globe has changed. They've centralized around all this stuff. Like, if all of the PlayStation leadership, Herman Hulst, all those guys, if they're all in that region, they're not going to view E3 the same way what used to be the US leadership of PlayStation would view that region, right? So
Who could fly to E3 in 90 minutes.
Right. Exactly. So you look at that and you go like, yeah, like with E3 changing, the message we needed to get out, we can get out any day of the week and dominate a news cycle. It's the fucking PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I mean, I get the why of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was more just like, all right, are they going to get it together enough to get them back on board? Or
exactly.
is this the
thing?
Or is this the true beginning of the end for E3?
Right.
Well, they also haven't, as far as I know, they haven't addressed that whole we doxed every
dude. Yeah, like that is a whole other. I feel like that's a whole different elephant in the room that is just like hanging out that they barely even touched.
I was hearing the other day that multiple people had to move because of that. And shit like that. And
and
now
like
it's like
all kinds of crazy harassment and threats and all kinds of stuff.
With no, I mean, I can't imagine that.
I mean, someone needs to bring a suit, right? I mean, that's
there was. It seemed like there was some talk of that back when it happened.
Like a class action.
I'm sure that stuff takes a while to get together.
But like that type of data leak with like.
We've been very lucky.
Financial,
so, just in case anybody, we go through the company.
Part of a large company.
Yeah,
so
we got.
It's not a big deal for us. But,
I don't even get a media badge.
Yeah, I know now it's more like.
But it was like it was only serendipity that we were not also
right.
Anybody could have been compromised like that.
Yeah, totally.
It just happened to be that group of people, but it could have been like the negligence is the bigger thing,
right?
And I feel like they barely even acknowledged it happened, much less made any kind of like good faith show of effort in doing something about it.
They probably know they're going to get fucking sued at some point.
Maybe
it's culpability, like even saying like, "Hey, whoops," like that. Even that could probably put you like out exposure wise. But
I just wonder, like how much that like badge type is even something that matters to the ESA's future in terms of this show. If they're going to open it to the public, like the media badge, like most of the major game media still gets a booth and they get exhibitor badges.
Sure.
So it's a lot of freelancers and people at smaller publications that got totally fucked.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder if the ESA was like, well, whatever.
I'd be worried.
Which is like that's been their attitude. They haven't said a lot. They haven't addressed it. They haven't made it better.
What I mean though is like
clearly it seems like they just don't give a shit.
Right, but it's like it's less the group of people that it happened to and more just the rank incompetence that it's an example of. Like if that could happen to them, then they can. What else could they fuck up?
Of course,
I'd be worried about buying a walk-in badge too. I mean, at that point, because if this is their attitude towards e-security or whatever we're calling it, like. That would be, I don't know. I'm sure it's
some straight up fucking clown ass shit, some real idiot ass moves that really fuck some people over.
Yeah.
And the ESA did not address it well enough on the other end of it. But I just look at it and go like, that's probably because they don't give a shit.
Yeah. I assume for their perspective, that's a smaller thing to worry about than shit like Sony not showing up. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like the amount of money ESA makes on E3,
it's like
that's the main drive for them.
Like half their revenue or something. I don't know what the actual number is, but it is a huge chunk apparently.
Don't they still get like publishers have to pay them for the rights to the icons and everything like that, right?
I think
member companies,
the members pay dues, I believe, or some kind of.
So there's that. And also Microsoft is still a member, like they're still a company that is a part of the ESA and all that other stuff. So even if they're not necessarily on the show floor per se,
like you have to
clearly are supporting the efforts of E3 in multiple ways.
Yeah, you have to assume they will still do the same thing.
They got out there and said as much.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. They said, "Oh yeah, we'll be at E3."
Okay.
So but Phil Spencer was out there saying,
but not necessarily back on the show floor, right?
No, but I don't think that matters. That's like a semantic thing that like they put on a show on a larger space. Like they've made E3 bigger.
Well, yes, but
they've made it take up more floor space.
But come on though, like we had to go take appointments in that space last year. Like there is some there is a layer of confusion in terms of getting from the main show hall into their space. I don't know if that's helping them necessarily.
I don't think it matters.
Like, the point I'm making is, do they try to get Xbox Series X kiosks back in the main hall this year?
No, because I look at it as the Microsoft Theater is just another hall.
I guess,
that's a part of the larger show floor.
Maybe they just need to do a better job of funneling people over there.
Yeah, like the
being like, hey, we got that new Xbox,
and then
And there's like multiple entrances into that place, and some of them don't get you directly into the place where the games are.
Well, some of that stuff that's only because we're going in weird side doors. Like there is one main entrance for the people that are just like trying to get over there to see what they can see.
Sure.
You think that form factor is going to be there present, or is it going to be like
I would assume so.
PCs like behind a
will it be running stuff? I mean, Phil Spencer has said that he's got one of those at home running games.
Yeah, I bet they're.
Chris,
I figure.
I want to say just based on the last console launch, it looked like, because they all list like manufacturing date, like it looked like for a November launch, I think most of them were made in like September,
August, or
but they're probably rolling like early units off, at least like samples or something by May June.
You'd assume,
what a weird.
Sony will still probably
situation.
do an event or something.
Yeah, like do they have a PlayStation experience?
Do they even care?
Not at E3. No.
Well, they did that weird thing for journalists last year. They had 4
That wasn't
games,
last year.
That was
the year before.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're talking about the weird, like the tent.
Yeah, the guy with the
Like last
bamboo
year,
whistle.
we didn't even really. It was difficult for us to book guests from PlayStation there, even though they were at the show, because the feeling was like, well, if they're not at the show, they're not at the show.
Yeah, like there was a
So like they kind of don't want to.
there was a concerted effort not to have a presence.
I could have sworn that was last year with the Last of Us 2 thing.
So that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago. Is that how long that game's been just
Well,
played?
I mean, not 2. It'll be 2 years as of June, so it was like
Right,
a year and a half ago. But it was 2 E3s ago. Yes.
My brain.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, it all runs together.
4 stars out of 5.
At this point.
But like, okay, so a PlayStation experience would almost be a last thing.
Yeah,
right?
that would be like
if you look at
close
the
to
time of the
launch,
year when they have
probably.
it. Unless they say the PlayStation experience is now a mall tour and we're going to go everywhere this summer or whatever.
Maybe that's how they hit their hundreds of events number.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
100 of activations.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like they probably still go to PAX in some form. I think.
Sure.
I don't know if they're going to South, but
Yeah.
they would have a booth that head East.
I don't know. You could probably make the argument that the name PlayStation 5 sells itself at this point. Like they may not feel like they need to have a big central event in the U.S. before it launches.
Right, but no, you're like, yeah, right. But they probably want to have. I would assume by PAX Prime they've got PlayStation 5s at that show.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah, probably.
They've got games announced. They've got lineups forming. They've got things happening. They've shown the box by then.
Oh.
So it's really a matter of like, do they want to have what? Okay, well, what bits of information do they have left to get out there? They've got the console itself.
Yeah, the look of the box, the price,
the dashboard, front end, whatever system layer stuff, the whatever features, whatever services and stuff are going along with that.
Yeah, and like a launch lineup.
Yeah, so
pretty much it.
At some point, it's like, okay, well, is that
is its own event? I'm sure. Like that,
or is it 3 events,
or
is it one event plus? Hey, we're announcing this separately and giving it to Wired or whoever.
Sure.
But either way, all that information gets out there, and I don't think they lose much by not attending the show.
No, definitely not.
Right.
I think Microsoft would have a lot more to lose by not attending. Well, I don't know. They could just as easily put on their own events and make their own announcements separately from E3 as well. So
it feels like Microsoft has the last launch went so disastrously for them. They need to have some kind of. It feels to me like they need to have some like rah cheerleading kind of big fucking conference.
Yeah, man.
Thing.
Everything they've been doing has had this like real kind of deliberate, like very, like you see it. It's very deliberate of just like we're very fan focused, and not to say that they don't believe that, but like they're really hammering on that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, E3 is always like one of the highlights of a year. I mean, it's less work for me than you guys, but I always get that. It sucks that Sony's not there, but I still think it'll come with some jazz and some.
I like E3 a lot when it is at something resembling full strength.
Yeah, like I liked E3 back in the day.
Yeah,
but like what it's become the last 3-4 years
is way less interesting than it used to be.
Well, I'm just talking about like I mean, like it's just kind of sad. Like that first year,
the show floor this last year was like rotten.
Yeah,
for whatever reason, I remember this must have been 2016 because I remember. Me, Vinny, and Dan, that was the year that we went and played Breath of the Wild. Sat down on the same show floor where we played it.
Yeah.
In a big empty corner that was quiet enough to record a podcast in. Like that was the moment for me. It was like, there shouldn't be empty floor space that's quiet at E3.
Right.
Like what is happening to this thing?
Well, that's
it's just like contracting.
That's the thing though, is that they're going to fill it up with nonsense.
Yes.
And they started doing more of that last year, but there was still a lot of empty space. Like, yeah, Dan and I recorded us kind of walking around the halls, or one of the halls. It was both halls. Anyway, like, yeah, we walked around a significant part of E3 and just like the amount of space, the places where it was very easy to have a conversation with the person from...
You used to have to elbow through people back in the day.
Yeah.
Just like fucking, you couldn't move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no TGS. But
right,
it was TGS is still the busiest thing I've ever seen in my life. But
yeah, it's surreal walking around when it's so barren like that.
And just like the stuff that was on the floor was still like seeing like energy drink powder for sale there. It wasn't like or even like not an experience. It was not hey, we're going to give you some,
or even games that are already out.
Yeah,
like a lot of games that were already out.
It started to look more like PAX.
Yeah.
My big curious question is if they feel motivated to do something before E3, because that way I'm assuming if they don't do you think they'd even let people say this is a PlayStation 5 game if they haven't?
It's happened. Yeah.
Okay.
The Game Awards had some Gearbox published game.
Godfall.
So
Was announced
Is
as
this
a-
the only
wouldn't affect-
confirmed PS5 game?
I mean, so I assume if anything's coming out to the Xbox One Series X, it's probably assumed that it's going to be a PS5 title as well, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But there has to be some PlayStation 5. Well, most of the launch exclusives are probably first party, right?
Yeah, they haven't announced anything
Yeah,
yet.
okay. So
we don't know.
it's weird.
We don't know how that stuff is going to go. We do know, however, how this Xbox cross compatibility situation is going to work.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Cool.
one Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, told MCV, which is a a European outlet. Okay, so basically, you know how Halo Infinite is coming out for both Xbox One
Yes.
and Xbox Series X.
Yes.
Apparently, that's going to be their policy for like all first-party games for what they are calling over the next year or 2 years.
Okay.
There's
That's a
not a
big window.
definitive window, but it's a pretty big window. Yeah.
So they're going to do
Essentially-
the work to keep making Xbox One versions of those games,
Essentially,
or will
yes.
those be xCloud only? And
Well,
technically,
yeah, they didn't. I feel like if that's the route they were going, then this statement is very misleading.
Okay.
I mean, that is certainly possible that
Right.
what you're saying is that. Also, I don't think they would put an end date on it of saying like
You're
for the
right.
first year or two,
Yeah.
all games will work on both.
Yeah.
This is really kind of, I've seen a lot of people feel disappointed by this.
I get it for sure.
Because apparently now what they're saying is that you're not going to be able to build around Xbox One to Xbox Series X that power. Like, you can't have anything exclusive to that.
Like you absolutely can't.
Has to make it run for our Xbox One.
To be clear, this is first party Microsoft
Yeah.
games
Sure,
only.
sure.
So
Yeah.
we're talking like what 3-4 games a year.
Yeah. And
This is like a handful of games. Period.
But one of the things that excite me about consoles is when you get the new one,
Yeah.
you have this
yes.
whole new baseline of power to play around with, and
Yeah.
developers. Like when I first loaded up like Infamous Second Son, like that was now it's less power. You know what I mean? It was a graphical improvement in many ways over what came before.
Yeah.
I get the value proposition, like
Sure,
the sort of consumer oriented angle on this of like, oh, if you bought into the Xbox One X, like you're good for a couple of years, you can keep playing all the games we put out. But like, if those games are held back by having to be designed to run on both platforms, it's not a great look for the new console.
It's not.
that you just spent who knows how many hundreds of dollars on.
But you have to wonder, like, how much of that is like a held back thing and how much of it is just a reality of the architecture.
Yeah.
Of just
The other-
like, oh, yeah, because like, hey, PC games run on a wide range of PC hardware.
Yeah, but they
that
still have to-
encompasses stuff that is,
Of course, but they still have to be built around the
they still
minimum
have to target.
Well, the other thing was that people were saying like, what is really? I mean, talk about RTX and like ray tracing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in
like
terms
what's
of
really changing.
Yeah, the 3D.
The CPU power is a huge deal. Like there is a massive amount more
Yeah.
of compute power in these things. Because remember, when the Jaguar cores in these existing consoles are netbook, that is
Right,
a netbook
right,
CPU that was like at the time when they announced the specs, people who knew what they were talking about
was
looked
like,
at that stuff and were like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
What was the?
And
sorry, go on.
so like the CPU in these new things is like it's something akin to a proper desktop CPU finally. So
Yeah.
that is a lot of extra horsepower divorced from the graphics stuff, that's not resolution frame rate stuff. Like that is like AI, physics, other types of simulation,
I think that
like number of players, it's hard to say. Like we don't know what developers are going to do with all that horsepower until they get their hands on it.
right.
But
But we do know that Microsoft is going to attempt to make those games run cross-generationally.
Yeah.
and if you're just running into hard limits because you're
Do
probably,
they say specifically like, hey, these games will run on the same multiplayer servers?
No.
So that's the thing.
It's a very like off the cuff comment,
Right.
Like it could be very well that like, oh, we're going to have separate internal teams working on the last gen versions of these games
Exactly.
and like managing it in a more discreet way that,
Or it's like, hey, if this needs to have a lower player count
Right,
because the Xbox
right.
One CPU can't handle it,
Yes.
then that's fine.
Yes.
You just won't see those players
right.
ever.
Or if it's something
you're on a
along those
Series X.
lines, where they're splitting those things out a little more.
I
as
think
a-
there's a way to do that
Yeah.
without necessarily compromising the games.
that's not so
but
bad.
They didn't necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I
It's
wonder.
it's kind of a half statement,
Yeah.
or a statement that leads to more questions than answers.
right.
That's more graphical stuff that kind of worries me. I mean, I'm not target market for. I play PC stuff, so this sounds like a very PC oriented kind of thing. Like you get a new PC, you're not going to get entirely new games. You're going to get games that came out before, but they'll look a lot better. But for me, console releases, like doing something like Look at, Soul Calibur would never have run.
There's always some sort
Right.
of like showpiece, to really like showcase, the graphical prowess.
Come with a demo disc.
But at the same time, I feel like
console.
you could have made a version of Soul Calibur that absolutely would have run on a Saturn.
Yeah, but would that have been like the same development team or a port backwards or something like that? I mean, it's all
you
kind
could have
of
gone either way. I mean,
semantics.
or like if the Dreamcast didn't exist and you were just making that game, like you could make it wouldn't look as good.
Right.
of
You just
course,
have to
but-
ask. You just have to ask what would be compromised
Yeah.
about it to make it work. Like
But
that.
hey, a high frame rate fighting game like the Saturn did plenty of those.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess maybe it's more of an architecture thing. Like if these are all going to be pretty much PCs, PS5, and so it might not be. It might not be as big of a deal as something.
like you just think about some of the stuff, like when the PS2 came out, like when you got Tekken Tag,
Right.
like cloth simulation, like seeing clothes move properly on those Tekken characters.
Yeah.
Seems like just a tiny little example of something that and granted that can be enabled in a next gen game and turned off in a last gen game, so that's maybe not the best example.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? There's
It's
a bunch
stuff
of
like,
bunch of little shit that
Right,
just
it was like-
iteratively gets better and better.
When they would zoom in and you go like look at the sweat on these
Right.
characters for
Right.
the 360 launch, you're like, okay, that seems like that's okay. That seems like something these games didn't do
right,
before.
like every time the
like
baseline moves up, it's
Yeah.
all this new stuff that you couldn't do before.
So what do you take a look like Halo Infinite? Like it's already going to run in 4K on an Xbox One X, correct? I would assume.
we don't know.
Well, that one's an interesting. That's a different example because that is an example of a game that's being developed up.
Sure.
Because that game
Okay, yeah.
clearly has been in development for Xbox One for years,
I'm just curious what they put on the Series X that
and they're
sets
porting it
apart.
up to the Series X.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like 2 years from now, if Series X games still have to be designed with the old hardware in mind. That
Yeah,
is
I think my question is just like is it still? And it probably depends on how you're developing the game, right? Like every team might do it a little differently.
Right.
Is it truly something they are developing up, or is it just something they're developing and they're like, oh, we suddenly just got way more horsepower dumped in our lap because this is moving up to the next platform, so I guess more guys.
sure. Yeah, like there are probably ways to mitigate the impact of this.
Yeah.
in a lot of cases, depending on how they're doing it.
It's a big to be continued though. Like
Yeah.
what this actually means.
Yeah. And again, like he also, he says after a year or two, it sounds like they'll be transitioning away from this strategy anyway. It's just,
I guess that's cool. Like I would have assumed they would have left a lot of Xbox One players kind of in the lurch.
or maybe not so much in the lurch to me as I thought they would just be. That's where xCloud comes in. Of just like,
Right,
hey,
yeah.
like it's totally cool if you want to stay on your old Xbox. If you sign up for our streaming service, you can play all these new games anyway.
Right.
I figured that's how they were going to go about it. But
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah.
like they're just trying to kind of be all things to all people.
Yeah, we'll see. Microsoft's a big company.
Yeah.
If they are truly devoting the resources to make sure that these different versions of the games get what they need to work and not be held back, I think there's probably a way to do that.
Sure.
But you're right that it doesn't be like the gut reaction out of the gate is just like, oh, that doesn't sound great.
Like it's probably not the biggest. Well, it's definitely not the biggest slice of the audience that looks at these things and says like, I want the hottest, raddest, most radical shit you can do on this hardware.
Right.
But it is some number of people.
Yeah.
And I wonder if those people look at this and think like, well, if Sony's like throwing everything against the wall on the PS5 games, like maybe I should look at that one.
If in fact they are, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't even
Maybe
know that.
maybe they will be doing something
yeah.
similar to this. Who
Wasn't
knows?
the rumor that PS5 would be backwards compatible with all PlayStations or something?
That's
like that?
that's the persistent rumor, but nobody knows for sure.
Who knows?
All right, Jan.
Oh,
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
They announced a season pass
Yeah.
for a Pokemon game.
An DLC in a Pokemon game.
I'm sorry. Did they call it an expansion pass?
Expansion pass.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
not a
Yes.
season pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the first time that they are foregoing making a third game or sequels to the existing games and just straight up just doing post-game content, which is, I personally think, is very fucking neat and like a good direction for them to move forward, because it was kind of a slog to have to go start from the very beginning to get to all the new stuff.
What's an example of, in a previous generation, like what are the two, like the before game
like-
and the after game?
Diamond and Pearl would be the original games, and then they'd release Pokemon Platinum.
Okay.
Or
Or like red and blue, but then there was yellow.
yeah.
Okay.
Or Black 2, White 2, Omega, Sun, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And
Obviously.
I'm glad, because now you can just jump straight into it, and they're releasing 2 expansions for $30 versus a whole release, and a bunch of people are poo-pooing as like, oh, this was stuff that could have been in the game. But
That will never die.
that will never die. So for $30 you'll get these 2 expansion passes.
Time for a DLC exit.
Oh boy. Well, actually, so Isle of Armor is coming in June of this year with, and then Crown Tundra later in the fall. And you're going to get like a new rival, a new master, or like a bunch of other characters to interact with.
Is it new map? I assume?
New map, yeah.
New
It's kind of like the wild area, right?
Kind of like the wild area.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were also, on top of adding more to the wild area, there would be like another town to visit, possibly another gym, maybe a couple gyms. But they're adding new legendary Pokemon that were missed in the original release of this. They're releasing Cubfu, which will evolve into Urshifu and has 2 different forms. And they're releasing like a balloon deer thing named Calyrex, which is grass and psychic. Pretty exciting.
Grass and psychic. Has that ever been done before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been done before. But the exciting part is they're bringing back all of the legendaries and a couple select Pokemon from the previous generations that, you know, they were saying like, oh, they're never coming back.
Yeah, they said it was like 200 Pokemon or something. And all,
roughly
right?
200, including the legendaries. So that pares down that number to maybe like 150-ish.
Okay.
But it's still like a good chunk. And they teased out designs, or not designs, but models of existing Pokemon that would be coming back. And it's a lot of it is fan favorites that got skipped out on. And I think it's pretty fucking neat. A bunch of cosmetics on top of that.
And like, those Pokemon will be like, even if you don't buy the passes, you
Yes.
can still use them. So
Yeah.
like you can pull them out of your box if you have them.
Yes.
Or you can trade to get them and that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. So
Yeah, so the language was if you do not want to buy the expansion pass and you're vehemently against it, or you just can't buy it or whatever, you can trade it from Pokemon Home, or you can receive it in game from other players. So, if you aren't in a place where you can play the expansions, you can at least through trading, surprise trading, or whatever, come across these Pokemon or even battle them. I'm assuming.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems like a nice modern direction for a Pokemon game.
it's
to
like
go.
Iceborne. It's like Iceborne,
Yeah.
instead of doing the G game or whatever,
Yeah.
like it's like, okay, we're just going to put DLC into the main game. It's like a modern solution to this weird
Nice to see
way
these
that
like
they used to do it.
nice to see these like kind of hardcore like legacy Japanese games adopting these methods instead of just kind of sticking with this.
It's evolving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really excited about it. It's funny, the competitive Pokemon world loved Dexit, actually, because a lot of the Pokemon that would be complete terrors in the scene were like suddenly ejected out.
Oh, so you mean it was actually like a nice opportunity for them to rebalance and like kind of get back to basics?
But now with some of those being reintroduced, it's shaking things up, which is interesting. It's great. I like it a lot.
That's cool.
Gotta keep people on their toes.
Yeah.
In the competitive Pokemon scene.
100%. Those hooligans run wild.
You gotta destroy the meta, rebuild it.
Exactly. I love it.
If they said anything, I don't think they said anything in the direct, I guess, but like the performance of that wild area is still pretty rough. Man.
They actually
The idea
released
that they're
patch.
like, hey, we're putting 2 more wild areas out. Like,
They released a patch the same day as the direct, but I personally haven't noticed any performance changes or whatever.
Okay.
A lot of it was just content stuff, nothing performance wise, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
You want that place for as much as it's presenting to perform well when you're interacting with a bunch of people, but it's still kind of meh.
Some other news. We got a pair of Square Enix delays this morning. The Final Fantasy VII remake has been pushed.
Not far.
Yeah, not that far. From March 3rd to April 10th.
Did you see any stuff about like, I guess
5 weeks.
people pulled a demo for that game
Yeah.
off of Sony's CDN and yanked it all apart?
So
and-
like all the stories that I read about it didn't go into detail about how people got their hands on it, or it wasn't clear if there was some hacking.
It sounds like there was just a file sitting on Sony servers that someone found.
Okay, so this was not something people like got running on hacked PS4s or anything
Yes,
like that?
I believe
Oh,
they actually did.
They did.
Yeah, they
go
did.
on to do that.
Interesting. Huh. But it's not, they didn't get it through those consoles. They just pulled it down on the internet.
I don't know. I didn't dig that deep into
like
it.
The breadcrumb trail to how the hell did they actually do this?
But I guess then they started data mining that demo and started
Yeah.
peeling apart, like, okay, here's the things that they seem to have changed to make this work as a story, even though it's only the first third or chunk of it or whatever.
Wild that much would be in that
Because they've
demo.
got to still make it seem somewhat complete.
Right.
Like episodic,
Yeah,
you want a beginning and an end, as it were.
It sounds like that might be a big change. to the story, flow of that story. From what I was reading. So I won't get into it here for people who don't want to be spoiled, but it sounded like a significant change.
I'm kind of curious to see what that is. Well, yeah, again, it's like a 5-week delay. It's not that big a deal. Although I don't know when Square's fiscal year ends, so maybe it is a big deal to them.
Yeah.
Because it's out of March now, but yeah, it's just like 5 weeks-ish. But the Avengers game also got delayed.
Oh, boy.
Quite a bit more to September.
Wow.
When was that originally?
May.
I keep forgetting that's a thing.
It was May 15th. Now it is September 4th.
How
So
much in trouble is that game? They're going to release it no matter what, I assume.
I feel like anytime
that is
we've seen it, like the best thing people come back is like, it seems like it might be okay. Like
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem exciting.
Needs like 5 more months of polish
Yeah.
or
I checked it out last PAX, and yeah, it's exactly that. It's like, oh yeah, it works. It's a game. But I don't know. On top of delaying it because it needs more work, if they're trying to time it out with something that Marvel's trying to do.
That's usually the last big movie of the year is like September. So
Yeah.
what I'm curious about is, because that first trailer, I was in the chat rooms for that, and people immediately started just railing on it. Like, it did not look like what they wanted. It wasn't the movie characters and everything like that. I'm not sure they can fix that at this point.
That's the part that I'm like not super. I don't care if they don't look like the movie characters.
A lot of
There's
people
been
do.
a billion versions of those characters over the years. I think that's a weird. They should have differences, especially in a game where they're going to probably sell you a zillion costumes because it's a live game. Hey, they'll get there.
That's a long delay, though. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be with that, but I don't know what you can do more in like 5 months.
I mean, they say fine-tuning and polishing.
I think I think it's more like is just the fundamental thing that game is appealing to people. I think that's the uncertain part.
Yeah, fine-tuning and polishing, it's good to have a lot of time for that, but like 5 months seems like it's more of a fundamental kind of thing.
The other thing to
Hulk didn't
me,
smash. Now he smashes, or will be able to smash.
the other thing to me is that pushes this release almost smack dab up against the new consoles.
Oh,
For what is apparently intended to be a live game that probably goes for a few years.
right.
I mean, whatever. If those consoles are backwards compatible, then you can.
Yeah, and if it's a live
presumably
game that's going to go for a few years, you would assume that they would eventually put it out on those boxes too.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to play these games or this game on those new machines, but still, it's just kind of weird timing.
First delays of the year.
Yeah.
First two of many. I'm assuming there are going to be a lot more coming up later.
Probably. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, and like again,
Yeah,
like
if there's going to be backwards compatibility, there's going to be a lot. I think
maybe
that's
the backwards
gonna
compatibility
push back.
takes some of the heat off of it because, like, I feel like normally you'd have that rock and a hard place of just like, okay, like we can push into the next fiscal year, but if you don't get it out before these new consoles launch, we're dead.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, I can't wait till those companies just clarify how all that stuff is going to work.
Yeah.
Because it's just like getting kind of exhausting speculating about it all the time. Like, are you
I
going
think it's fun.
to charge people again? Are the games going to look the same? Are they going to look better? Are they going to have to pay to make them look better?
But I bet it'll be different for everyone involved. Like
Maybe.
Microsoft can only say, I mean, they could enforce it on third parties, but third parties probably wouldn't like that.
Who was it? Was it Sony that mandated you can't charge for pro upgrades or something like
Yeah,
that?
that was in
like
their
they said
internal
flat
docs,
out, like
yeah.
you can't charge people to make the games
But
look better.
This is a different situation.
Yeah, okay, because it is kind of.
Because you could put that disc in and say, okay, we're going to run the backwards compatible PS4 version of this game on your PS5.
Right.
And if you want the PS5 version, you're welcome to go buy it. Good luck. And then maybe at that point, because they did allow a PS3 to PS4 upgrade with that Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
They did that $10 upgrade of
Right.
like, put the disc in, you could buy the PS4 version for cheap.
Black Flag, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so they do have some precedent with that as well. So maybe they go that way with it.
Sure.
As like hey, if you want to go this upgrade path, we're not going to hit you for 60, but you're always welcome to pay the 62 if you'd like.
Yeah.
I bet it ends up being something like that. But I bet also you probably end up in a situation where different developers do slightly different things.
Sure. So I can see that. Epic Games. They have a store. Perhaps you've heard of it. Anybody?
Yeah, they keep giving me free games.
Yeah, they sure do. In fact, they're going to keep doing that.
Trade these games in for more V-Bucks. What are we doing?
I guess for all of this year as well as all of last year, they're going to continue doing that on a weekly basis.
Okay. How are they making money?
They put out a big infographic this morning, and I guess Tim Sweeney's out there doing interviews and stuff. They're basically disclosing a bunch of figures about the Epic Store. The most salient ones are They claim 108 million customers on the Epic Games Store.
Okay.
It seems
I
like
wonder how many they had before, like at the launch of the store, just from like Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't
conversions.
know. I should.
I assume a lot of those.
Let me find it in the story. Okay, so yeah, they are saying now they have 300 million total Epic accounts.
Got it. Okay.
Across all platforms. So presumably the rest of those are just people playing Fortnite.
That's a fucking lot
on phones and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But
or consoles.
108 million. And they're defining customers on the Epic Games Store as anybody who has ever like taken part in a transaction on the store.
They still
even if it's a free game.
Yeah, the free game.
Like even if you've just downloaded a free game once on the Epic Store, they're counting you as a customer. So that's kind of a fuzzy number.
I mean, it's people that are in that ecosystem that are
they have the capability, now to buy a game.
Yeah, that they can market to and say, "Hey, Phoenix Point" or whatever.
Right. But they do say that the store has generated $680 million of revenue so far.
By giving away games.
Spent by people.
That's crazy.
That is money they have brought in.
Revenue is very different for them. I'm curious about what the pure profit is.
And then surprisingly, they broke out the number of the amount of money that was not spent on their games, which is 251 million of that 680.
Well, what's the big one?
More than half of the revenue in the first year is spent on Epic Games or
That's impressive,
game.
What was the big? So Fortnite, but is Borderlands 3 an Epic game?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's exclusive on the
that's
store as of now. But that would fall under third-party PC games.
That's really weird. Like that's
like, does Epic have anything besides Fortnite that anybody would spend money on? At this point, probably not.
There's that other mobile game. Did that come out on PC as well?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Presumably, most of this
Shadow
chunk,
Complex, I think, is not free anymore.
Presumably, most of this chunk is Fortnite revenue.
Yeah.
But that's it's like $250 million that third-party games have made on the Epic Store.
Still for the amount of games on there, like looking at it per game, it's still not.
It's probably I was gonna say that's probably pretty good. There are not a zillion games on that store.
Yeah, they say, and of course they would, but they say that all these numbers are like well ahead of their projections for where this thing would be. So they seem pretty pleased. They put out a list of the most popular. They didn't like rank them or give any numbers, but besides Fortnite, the most popular games on the store are World War Z, Satisfactory, Dauntless, Untitled Goose Game, which I guess sold over 1 million copies. I saw a Cable from...
That was across all platforms.
Yeah, I'm sure. But Cable from Panic was out there on Twitter saying they passed 1 million. Cool.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Is Borderlands on?
Yeah. The Outer Worlds, Borderlands 3, Metro Exodus, Division 2, and Control.
Not the Outer Wilds?
Was
the Outer Wilds on
Oh,
Steam
yeah.
as well?
Outer Wilds is not on this list. That's a bummer.
I thought it was an Epic exclusive, right?
And Outer Worlds
on PC it was.
Okay.
It's also on the consoles.
Outer Worlds was on PC Game Pass. So
Yeah,
you could have
right.
gotten that for way less.
Yeah, a bunch of people still bought it for full price, apparently.
Maybe they're running Windows 10.
So yeah, they said they're going to keep giving away games for free this year, and they also sort of doubled down on. They basically said, "Hey, our strategy of securing exclusives on this store we view as crucial to the success, and we're going to keep doing that."
I mean, it seems to have worked for them. For all the people that have been angry about it, it doesn't seem like that's necessarily dissuading them.
Yeah.
So they've got dollar numbers to back that up, I guess now.
Sure. So yeah, I think we'll keep going. I haven't looked at that Trello board in a while.
Yeah.
Not sure where they're at.
I thought I read that they added Open Critic review numbers.
Yes, I did. Yes, they
today
did.
Or very recently.
I've seen them talking about that.
You user reviews on that list anywhere?
I assume it's on their.
Yeah, I think it's on the to-do list.
It's on their to-do list, but I thought I remembered them saying that they were going to allow developers to turn that on or off, or kind of have some control over that.
It took Steam like 10, 15 years to figure out the review bombing thing. So,
and I don't think they've quite gotten there. I think that all reviews, recent reviews, the tone stuff, mostly negative, mostly positive. I think that stuff's really good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's been surprisingly useful.
The digging into the actual reviews themselves still doesn't seem great.
Steam's breaking out a soundtrack section I just read yesterday.
Yeah.
Like
they've had like movies and stuff, and
that's a separate store they've been running for a long time, but it's always been until now. Like I guess this is rolling out big like next week, but until now, soundtracks have only been DLC.
Yeah.
So you couldn't buy a soundtrack on Steam unless you bought the base game first, like because it just doesn't let you buy DLC for games you don't own.
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer. So they're breaking all that stuff out. It's going to be its own like soundtrack store, music store.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is cool.
They improved like the music controls in Steam for like listening to music because as they started selling more and more of it.
And they're going to have better stuff in there for developers to specify like what quality of files they're selling and opt into like lossless stuff. And like it sounds like a...
Might as well.
I assume it seems like soundtracks have become pretty big business on Steam.
Music.
Who would have see? Recently shipped on the Epic Games Store, Library Grid View. It's nice.
Cool.
It's nice to have.
Tell me which
coupons. Anybody?
Tell me which drive I have stuff installed on.
There is a way to see that.
Good.
I forget.
You
how.
do. Yeah. When you're installed, it'll show you the drive letter.
Good.
It does show that.
Improved patch sizes.
All right.
Humble bundle integration. Cloud saves.
Oh, that's great.
Cloud saves.
Cool.
Big deal. I mean, there's some just like essential stuff on here, such as Brazilian currency support.
Wait, Cloud saves is on the board, not done, or you're saying it's done and
that
shipped?
is done.
Okay.
That came out a while ago,
Yeah,
but it's on a game by game basis.
Right.
It's definitely been working
That's
for
how
me.
Steam is too.
Looks like it's a bunch of storefront discovery stuff is most of what's up next. Self-service refunds, wish list. So yeah, they got a little ways to go.
I have no problems with the Epic client. I know you say you don't launch it very much. When I use it,
I just it's in my case it's like, oh hey, that game is out and it's only on the Epic Store, and I go, oh okay, I'll go play it there. Sure. And then stop launching it when I'm done playing it.
It mostly works, but it's pretty bare bones.
now you can play it on GOG Galaxy 2.0 if you want to. I saw that. I tried that beta.
Yeah.
It's still in beta, but it's open to everybody now. It's pretty slick. Yeah, that's the word I would use.
I find it interesting to look at. If I had more friends that were using GOG, I would find it more interesting because it like the only part about it I think is cool is like the data of like bringing all the achievements and stuff together, which we used to do that. So I think I'm excited looking at that to see someone else doing it. But
speaking of data, we're going.
But in terms of like actually, I've never used it to launch a game.
Sure,
I launch it and look at it and go like, oh yeah,
it's nice to get an idea because I roped in Uplay, Epic, Origin, Steam, and the GOG games that I have. So it's like a good overall view. But some of the data is really interesting too. Like average time played for Witcher 3 on GOG is 78 hours, which seems insane. I'm not sure if that counts people who only played like half an hour or something.
They hit. I wish I could remember what the number was. They hit some number that was bigger this past year than it was the year that
sales,
game came
I think.
out. I don't know if it was sales or time played or something.
like Steam, like concurrence or something,
or revenue. It was
in the wake of
maybe it was
show
concurrence or something. Yeah, like that.
Way back up.
Like that game is just going and going.
I need to get through that at some point.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for 5 years.
All right.
But I would expect the GOG number to actually be pretty high because I feel like the people that are
big into
this stuff enough to know what a GOG is are people that are likely to play the shit out of The Witcher.
Likely to want to support cyber whatever.
CD
Projekt, yeah. Cyber whatever.
Yes,
Coming soon.
Cyber whatever.
Coming soon.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
That was the big thing about
that's pretty good video game developer name.
It's a big thing about the FF7 remake is like it's a week before Cyberpunk now, which is a big competitor to the people. It's two different audiences, but both RPG stuff.
Yeah. All right, a couple headlines I had in here before bigger stuff happened, but I'll just read them real fast. Platinum took a big investment from Tencent, Platinum Games,
Who isn't?
maker of Bayonetta and so forth. They say our company's independence will not be changed.
Good.
Is what they say. It's a very short press release. I Google translated it from Japanese. It doesn't say anything about like what percentage of the company Tencent owns now or whatever.
Okay.
But
add them to the list.
And they said in that press release that they're going to get into publishing. They're not just going to be putting out their own games now. They're looking to start publishing.
Really?
Their own stuff or other people's stuff?
Other stuff.
Okay.
Well, that was the implication, at least again. Google Translate.
That's interesting. Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. Rockstar delisted Grand Theft Auto 4 from Steam.
Game for Windows Live.
And then, and then
they're done with it.
And then they said it's because they never took the games for Windows Live support out of that game, and they now can no longer generate new keys for it.
That's funny.
So they say they're looking into other options for continuing to sell that game on Steam.
Is it still in the Rockstar launcher?
I don't think I don't think it ever made it into there.
No, because
I don't think there's a version of that game on PC that doesn't have games from Windows Live in it.
Yeah, so this is like people who bought it and already had a key issued, they can still play it.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. They just they cannot sell the game right now.
Yeah.
Man,
I assume they'll just take the Games for Windows Live stuff out finally.
You'd think.
it seems
or
like it might be more complicated. I mean, who's buying
well, that's the thing, right? Is like, okay, is it worth it to them
because it's really
money wise to do the work to take that stuff out?
just as an archival thing you'd like to have.
Yeah, they seem to care about their games, and,
Right.
you know.
And I'm sure they'd love to have a version of it on their launcher too, which they would, like, why not?
I wouldn't be surprised if that game still makes some money.
Sure.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's
some
just a matter
people
of,
think
like,
it's the best GTA
does
game.
it make enough for them to justify the work to
Yeah.
strip all that stuff out? Like, that's the thing.
It's just selling old GTAs for like $30, right? So a lot of platforms.
Yeah, like San Andreas is on the Rockstar launcher and stuff like that. Episodes from Liberty City is still up on Steam, which I guess means they didn't sell enough copies of that to run out of keys yet.
Well, wasn't that a separate executive?
It's a separate client. I mean, it's a separate product.
I don't think I ever played that.
It's like a standalone bundle or whatever.
Right.
All right, help me out here. I played a bunch of GTA 4 on PC back in the day.
Okay.
I even looked at my Xbox profile to confirm, and I have achievements in the PC version of that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to Steam, and that game's not in my library. So I guess I didn't play it on Steam. So where did I play it? Like, where else would I have gotten the PC version of that game?
I think they may have done a standalone version outside of Steam, so you may have just gotten a Games for Windows Live key,
right?
Downloaded it from Microsoft
I guess
Store.
That's what I did, but
or installed it from a fucking disc.
Maybe I don't remember ever having a disc for it, but maybe I did. But that key would be bound to the Games for Windows Live marketplace. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it possible to still get those games?
Probably.
Because I also own Viva Pinata for PC that way.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember.
God damn it! If they have shut off the Pinata valve.
Wait, are you saying Valve owns Viva Pinata? We're never going to see another one now.
The Pinata spigot has run dry. Yeah, it's a weird situation. I would like it. Immediately made me mad that I had never gotten GTA on Steam as soon as I saw that I couldn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to get that game back.
That game is in my Steam library. But yeah.
All right, last story. It's about Super Nintendo World, which is opening in Osaka, in Japan this year. And they put out a trailer for it.
Hello screen. It's Universal.
I don't know if it's part of Universal Studios Japan or if it's a separate landmass that just is affiliated with them.
From what I'm seeing here, it's part of Universal.
I don't know, but they got Charlie XCX to do this trailer.
I saw her in concert like 3 weeks ago. 3 months ago.
It's just
she's great.
Also, you're gonna wear a power-up bracelet.
The fuck I am.
I guess we're gonna watch this trailer.
Dibs on Toad.
I watched it already. It's weird.
I haven't seen it.
You guys ready?
Not either.
Sure.
Yeah.
Need more in your heads?
A
little bit. Wait, it's in space? Okay. So we have
These smiles. Oh my
Everybody-
god.
we're like playing Switch games and
These people were born to play.
Galantis also?
yeah.
All right. So this pipe just showed up in the middle of like
This office.
this
I don't do
office,
that.
and she just jumped in. Crazy.
Normally you get in
person.
trouble if your pipe shows up.
Yeah. And there we are. We've traveled
That's
through
just
to
how it
the other
happened for
side.
Mario.
Everybody's very excited that they're here. They see 3D Yoshis.
It's that astronaut from earlier.
I know.
And there's
Also,
Mario.
Does this confirm the speculation that Mario is not human? Because these people are clearly human.
These people are
I
human.
guess so.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that guy in in red and blue that just ran by does not appear to be.
There's a lady.
That's Charlie XCX.
Okay. How do you
Yeah.
think they'll do floating blocks that you can... Like, I imagine they would have to put floating question mark blocks around this theme park for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
This video is weird because there is not one frame of the actual park in
Right.
it.
Right.
If I'm not able to jump up and hit a goddamn question block at some point and have a coin pop out, they've failed.
It'll just make the noise. I mean, you could buy those now. You can go to
Yeah,
a Hot
that's
Topic
true.
and get one of those.
I've got one.
Yeah. They're not
Can
going to
you go
make
to
people
the-
dance like that to go, are they? Oh, shit. They're shooting fireballs at other humans. Are murdering each other with fire.
It's okay. It's
Also,
a Mario.
it turns into a dance number.
Fuck yeah. They're playing Mario Kart.
I guess
could
they
be
have
fun.
said
They said there'd be a
there will be
go-kart.
a Mario Kart
That
ride
guy's just
thing.
riding a Yoshi. Can you ask for like a Yoshi to like be delivered to your room like after hours?
After Hours Yoshi.
This looks very physical.
Yeah, so they're saying they're going to give you some wrist band, a power-up band that will work with the smartphone app while you're in the park
Okay.
doing stuff.
Disney's had a lot of stuff like that
Yeah.
over the years.
Well,
Oh,
Mario
shit,
is
it's
totally into
Mario.
it. He's giving thumbs up and going Yahoo.
But he's with all these people that are just real people. Is he going to kiss one of them? Finally?
I hope it's
That's
Charlie
After
XCX. I note there's no. Was there Princess? There is Princess Peach, so she's not canonically a human Princess Peach. But
There you go.
I like the idea of her like being the master
Showed the
control
bracelet.
program for this whole thing and just looking over it from above.
Yeah. And then destroying it.
Yes, with
Yeah.
the power of pop.
I guess that's opening this summer.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's been
always
like this
wanted
mandate, like as they build these rides, like every single one must be interactive or game-like in some way. I wonder if they're all going to be this weirdly competitive or cooperative thing.
Yeah,
Nothing
they
but
show that part
AR.
where you're using your phone to like log in or something like
Well,
that.
that could be just as easy as like
Yeah.
a fast pass, like get on a ride type thing.
Okay.
Scheduling out.
The power-up
stuff.
bands are like NFC wristbands that
Sure.
you're gonna use to. You could and whatever. You
could be
you could pay
Toad?
for stuff in the park. You could check into a ride with
Okay.
it. There's a lot of different dumb things you can do with that band.
Bloomberg had a reporter at this press conference. They say these wristbands are going to be used to make you feel like you're part of the game world and collect digital coins and compete with others.
Okay.
So, Jan, what's the biggest Pokemon Go they could put into this park to get people to go?
Oh shit.
Are there any legendary Titan level?
Well, there are regional exclusives that you can only get in European or Asian countries. So they could just do a giant ass raid to put Mario in Pokemon Go.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I just imagine
God.
this huge theme park full of people staring at their phones and not moving. For
I feel like that's also Disneyland too.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, I wonder if they do any kind of AR stuff.
It looks-
I would
like,
assume-
I would assume
hey,
so, yeah.
the you can hold your phone up and look at stuff.
Yeah, according to this Bloomberg reporter at the press conference, they literally compared themselves to Disney.
Sure.
The
I mean,
it's a theme
Universal Studios Japan marketing director said, if Disney is the dream world, then Universal Studios is the wake world, where we will energize you and make you feel alive.
Okay.
Also,
Thank you.
apparently the new brand slogan for all this stuff is no limit. So,
skateboarding is right in there too.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited.
You think Master P is
I've always wanted
buying
a
it?
Yeah, I think
theme
Master
park,
P
a
is
Nintendo theme
is
park.
the final boss of Super Nintendo World.
You think he's buying up land in the Mushroom Kingdom?
yeah, he's
Like a
gonna.
real estate magnate?
It's like him and Bowser riding a tank.
Yep. I bet Bowser would love to ride a tank.
Oh my god!
He is.
So we're going right.
Yeah, we are.
So
I mean, we
It opens this year.
this year I didn't see this anywhere else. This Polygon story at the bottom just says Super Nintendo World will expand stateside, but there's no timeline for the expansion.
yeah.
Well, Universal Studios
at some point,
Florida, right?
At some point, it'll
There's
be
one
here.
in LA.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah. But that's probably like years away. I'm sure it takes ages
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
plan and build these things.
We're gonna have to
Sure,
go
yeah.
now. I'm sorry, Jeff.
I wonder if there's like a big run on Osaka this summer from all around the world, people trying to get into this thing.
I wonder. I don't. Yeah, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's like a whole subset. I fell into a YouTube hole of
Oh,
people like
okay.
visiting like
Theme park
parks.
people.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
filming it's like 4K HD.
Yeah,
blah,
like
blah, blah.
not even just like roller coaster people. Like
Yeah.
that's a whole different thing.
Oh yeah.
like theme park people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing
Those people.
like selfie narrated videos, or is it more like those?
It
Apple
runs a whole
screens
gamut
over?
of like YouTube stuff of like this is like FPS style of going through the ride, or like I'm gonna tell you everything that's going on the ride, or they'll like be narrating over footage and stuff. And so I could totally see a whole flood of people coming just to see this part of the park.
Yeah.
What I do like are those Apple TV screensavers. There's like drone footage over
Yeah.
cities. Haven't those like a special art like amusement park section for like really high end Disneyland, and then like middle of Pennsylvania bullshit or county fairs? Just how sad people get.
Yeah.
I would watch that for
Just like
a while.
see people
people
getting it
getting
on
sad.
and throwing up at the same time behind an outhouse.
Giving the
It's
carny a blowjob to get on the
exactly.
the
Just a
floor.
4K county fair.
Man,
All right then.
Doesn't this time out with the Olympics also?
Oh yes, it is actually
oh, that's gonna suck.
Totally.
Here's
boy.
our flyover the Calgary Stampede.
totally coincides with the Summer Olympics.
Oh boy.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
That'll be a mess.
Jeez.
Olympic
Okay.
Village
We're not
is now
going.
in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
Boy.
Now we'll see the flyover of that.
Hey.
Okay. All right, that does it for the news. We need to take one more quick break. I actually have to leave during the break to go play a hot new video game.
That's right.
I might have to leave during the break to go get my teeth cleaned.
We're going to handle emails.
I'm going to go on an actual assignment.
That's right.
You guys
I have an
back
actual
with.
assignment too. What are you talking about? It's going to hurt way more than playing whatever.
You guys will be back with emails.
That's right.
Right after this.
I'm excited to hear what you think about this video game.
I'm excited to hear what I have to feel about dentistry.
Yeah. I'm overdue to see a dentist as well. I haven't had time.
Have you flossed, Rory?
I floss twice a day, brush once a day. I take care of my shit, but I have had some tooth pain over the holidays.
What about your teeth?
My
All right,
tooth-
we got to go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We're back.
We're back.
That's
Mostly.
right. Me,
Kind
Jan, and
of.
Jason here.
The ones you love.
That's right. To take these emails from you.
You.
That's
You.
right. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address. Send us these emails.
We'll read them.
We'll read them.
Maybe.
And we'll pick some of them, maybe even read them on a podcast. Is it this one?
Yeah.
Tune in to find
Is
out.
it Serial? Is it the Mark Maron show?
Yeah, you could send
Who
your
could
emails to
say?
them too.
Send us your emails and maybe we'll read them on someone else's podcast. You never know.
That's what I do.
It's really unlikely that's going to happen.
It could.
I got a guy
Yeah?
at a wrestling company. Maybe we could get him, maybe we could forward him some of these emails and he could read them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
He's probably looking for content.
Could have Corey Graves answer this question about the food bathtub.
What?
Jake writes in,
Hi, Jake.
I'm sorry about this email.
God damn it.
is his
Save that for the end.
preface. Let's say for the sake of incentive, you are being offered all of your monetary needs be met for the rest of your life if you can eat an entire bathtub full of a food while sitting in it. You get to choose the food for your tub and the starting temperature. Anything, the thickness of gravy and up is eligible. The contents of the tub must come up to your belly button. There is no time limit, but you cannot leave the tub meal until it is consumed, so spoilage, temperature, and consistency will become an issue. Utensils are also allowed. That's a wide variety of rules. I think I have my exact answer that would be easy.
Okay.
Cheese. Easy cheese.
You would go with easy cheese?
No.
Okay.
I was guessing for you.
No.
You said easy and I got excited.
No.
I'm sorry.
No. Do you?
I'll never
either
let
of you
it
have
happen again.
Do either of you have answers?
Yes,
So this doesn't
I
have
do.
to be like a liquid food, right? It could just be a bathtub full of
doesn't
food.
say anything about it being a liquid food. It says anything.
I have,
Thickness of
I
gravy,
have a
whatever.
food that I would love for it to be. I don't know that I could actually do it in any amount of time.
Yeah.
A tub up to my belly button?
Up to your belly button.
Am I naked?
I'm going to say yes.
Let's assume yes.
Okay.
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls.
I would.
Pizza rolls up to your
you
belly
could
button.
do that.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to try to do
Yeah,
that.
that'd be, man. I've eaten a lot of pizza rolls in one sitting, but I don't know that I could eat them.
like two, like heaping platefuls.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to do that.
No, that's probably
That's bad
gonna
for
be bad
me.
for you
Yes,
for a number of reasons.
right.
It's bad for anybody, honestly. For
But
you,
but
doubly
it shouldn't
so.
be because
Yeah.
they're so good.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas.
Yeah.
You think a bathtub full of quesadillas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quesadillas are
what's in the quesadilla?
Yeah.
Oh, like a steak.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
A whole steak or just
You know, like
steak
the chopped
pieces?
up stuff.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
specifically Taco Bell quesadillas, I could
Okay.
probably knock out.
Yeah.
All right. A bathtub full.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it in terms like I want to get this over with. What's the actual food to
Yeah.
put in this thing to just get it done? And it's potato chips.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's a little bit of air between them.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
if you poured it, if
man.
you,
It's going to get really messy at the
So-
very end, though.
Yeah, it could. Like, I would request
Yeah.
to get put in the bathtub before
Yes.
the chips were inserted.
I'm envisioning it's always that because if you're measuring it up
Oh,
to
I
your
suppose.
belly button, that's going to be different.
yeah,
so
you can't just like dip
you're
in
gonna
there
sit.
afterwards.
You're going to sit down.
man, because I would squish a lot of pizza rolls and they,
Right. That'd be bad.
there's
You
like
wouldn't want that.
volcanic
Mm-hmm.
pizza roll stuff all up in my butt.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Usually got to pay good money for that kind of action.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think potato chips would be a very doable.
Are we talking plain?
Yeah, I'd probably
Okay.
just like a baked Lays. let's
Baked
say.
Lays.
Oh, okay.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
That's good.
All
Okay.
right.
Might be a little too salty, but
You've got a faucet right there. You could.
You'll just pour more lays in though.
Yeah, if I could just like occasionally,
thirsty?
Yeah, if I could occasionally have like just a sip of a drink or something, then that
You've got a water bottle right in front of you.
easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
My son has been known to drink his bath water. Watch out for that. They do that.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
fucking weirdos.
You shouldn't. You probably shouldn't do that.
I don't let him.
I don't think
he just does it.
Yeah, no, it's
God, it's gross.
Have you tried providing an alternate drink at bath time? Like, no, if you're going to drink anything, have this.
No.
We grabbed it's too early. We have we just got a bumbo chair.
Okay. Yeah. I've had a bumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a bumbo.
You got a bumbo.
I got a bumbo. And she can sit up and kind of has head control now.
Oh, cool.
It kind of just happened. And like, it's not all the way
Sure.
there.
They're wobbly and
But we've been giving her oatmeal a little bit, just like get her. And she's been opening wide for it and stuff. It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
It's like she's like a person.
They're gonna, they grow up.
She looks at stuff. You can see the wheels turning. You see like she's trying to figure shit out. It's crazy.
You got to watch out for
babies are people.
Yes.
They don't tell you that.
No, it's scary.
Nathan from Tumwater, Washington writes in and says, "Hi, what was the first alcoholic beverage you tried?"
Sailor Jerry's rum.
Yeah.
First, was it mixed or did you just have a straight?
Shooting it.
Oh. I can't do it straight, but I've been known to consume some Sailor Jerry.
I think
with Coke.
See, that's
many Cokes.
Mildly delicious.
I can't. It's been like a decade now that I can't really drink rum anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, since that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that video. It's on like that video. There was so much rum, and then so much of it got spilled on and around my desk. That stuff was sticky and rummy for a little while afterwards. That like just the smell of rum now. Ever since then, I just go,
cannot do it.
I've probably had like 2 rum and Cokes since then.
I've had several.
When I was a kid, I thought people were saying Roman Coke.
Roman Coke?
Yeah.
Give me a Roman Coke.
Give me a Roman Coke. And I was like, what is that? I don't know, some boozy Coke. I don't know. I think the first time I drank, it was probably just some shitty beer. Honestly, just some bad high school party.
Yeah.
Or
I think
like
back,
that.
it's probably that.
Yeah. But I also remember some shitty high school party where we were drinking White Russians, and that might have been the first time. The first time I like willingly said like, yes, I would like a drink, and like wasn't like a ridiculously young child like having some sip of something somewhere. Right. Some drunk relative going like, here, have a highball, kid. And going like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
But the first time I consumed a drink and said, yes, let's have another one, it was either some keg of fucking garbage beer.
Yep.
Or
that's gotta be it for me. Yeah. That or like wine coolers. And not the Bartles and James, but like in a 2-liter.
There you go.
Really cheap shit.
Good shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That had to have been one of those two. Shitty beer or shitty wine cooler.
Yeah. Okay.
There's been many drinks since.
Chi from Blacksburg, Virginia writes in, hello. Inspired by Jeff's lasers and as someone who does research aided by lasers, here are some fun facts regarding lasers I learned using them and during the safety training.
This sounds dangerous. If by safety training you're learning what not to do, then this is
there are 3 bullet points here. Here's the first one. If you are exposed to high power lasers to your eyes, the back of your eye can boil and explode outward. They showed pictures at the safety class. No. It was fucked.
No.
Oh shit. Laser safety glasses work by blocking out a certain range of wavelengths, essentially colors from the light spectrum. What's fucked is that by wearing the safety glasses, you cannot see where the laser is. Wearing safety glasses for green laser will block out all green light, making it necessary to remove them at times to work with them.
Just to see where the laser goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be anywhere.
Yeah.
They're sneaky.
We have pulsed lasers that only shoot for nanoseconds at a time. Femtosecond lasers exist too, we just don't have any at our lab. Since it fires for such a short duration, their peak power is incredibly high and you can do fun stuff such as vaporizing air molecules and creating plasma sparks. Lasers are simultaneously fascinating and scary as fuck.
Yeah. What if you shoot lasers at one another What happens?
Yeah. If I get a femtosecond laser in my eye, will it explode? Is
Will
that
it
like a
boil
stealth
it?
way to do somebody dirty?
Yeah.
If I have a laser a series of lasers that I have set up in a way that like writes my name in cursive over the course of some nanoseconds, can I blast those at someone very quickly and burn it into their flesh without them even realizing what happened?
Oh, I thought you were going to say in their eyes. So whenever they close their eyes,
that
they
too.
see
Oh,
your name in cursive.
Yeah, now you're talking.
Yeah, I mean, they do that with genes now to manually distress them instead of having to do it yourself.
They use lasers?
Yeah, they use lasers to like kind of etch it on.
Yeah.
We're just one step away from doing that to people.
Yeah. They've used lasers on my eyes. They cauterized like some blood vessels in there. Like probably with nanoseconds.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Just a mild boiling.
How up on Overwatch League team names are you?
Not up.
I see there's a Minnesota like rocker or something at rock.
There's like a San Francisco one, right?
Okay, then maybe this will work. Okay. This is from Adam in Baton Rouge. With the start of the revitalized XFL less than a month away, I figured it'd be fun to get to know the new teams with a little quiz I call XFL or Overwatch League team. The rules are simple. There are 10 teams here. It's up to you to guess if this is an XFL team or an Overwatch League team.
Okay. Can we team up, Jan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a combined answer from
All right.
Okay.
Dallas Fuel.
That is the Overwatch.
That sounds like an Overwatch team.
That is an Overwatch team.
Ding, ding, ding.
Washington Justice.
That sounds like an
XFL.
XFL team.
That is an Overwatch team.
Shit.
What?
The St. Louis Battlehawks.
The XFL.
Yeah.
St. Louis? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they have an Overwatch team in St. Louis.
Okay. That is an XFL team.
Atlanta
Reign. REIGN.
That's Overwatch.
I think that's Overwatch.
Yeah.
That is Overwatch. The Seattle Dragons.
I think that's XFL.
I want to say Overwatch.
I'll defer to you.
Okay. Overwatch.
It's the XFL.
Oh.
Damn it. Never listen to me ever again.
The DC Defenders.
Didn't we already have one from DC?
We had a Washington.
We had a Washington.
I think Defenders.
Defenders.
You wouldn't want an Overwatch team to just be Defenders.
XFL. I've never heard of these guys.
That's the
Yeah.
XFL.
Okay.
XFL. Philadelphia Fusion.
That sounds like an Overwatch business.
Yeah. Wow.
But it is alliterative. And-
Philadelphia Fusion.
How are they spelling fusion?
Properly.
Okay.
Not PH.
Yeah, not PH.
Dang it.
I'm going to say Overwatch.
Okay, let's go Overwatch.
It's Overwatch.
Okay.
The Tampa Bay Vipers.
Oh, that's an XFL team if I ever heard one.
Yeah, it's just Randy Orton on the side of a helmet.
Yeah.
Going like this, like he does.
Never expect him.
The New York Guardians.
Oh my God. Defenders and Guardians.
Overwatch.
That's XFL.
God damn it.
New York Guardians?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's my Destiny esports team.
Oh, okay.
Destiny.
The Houston Outlaws.
That's XFL.
I think I want to say Overwatch, but we'll say XFL.
It's Overwatch.
Damn it.
Thank you, Adam. Oh, I think we all agree all those team names are bad, but like suitably futuristic.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like someone having to come up with new sports teams names in this day and age.
Yeah, like the Packers are just not going to cut it.
Yeah,
anymore.
what the
You
fuck
can't
is
really
the
do that?
Yeah, what is that?
What's a Packer?
Yeah, like
the A's, you know?
yeah,
Right. That's just a letter.
right.
For fuck's sake, it's just a letter.
Yeah, the Omegas. Now that's the Alphas. Now,
yeah.
you get away with that.
The Defenders.
Yeah.
Guardians.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We'd have like the San Francisco Patagonias or something.
Right.
It was the Demons before in the XFL.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a hockey team for a hot second?
We got the San Jose Sharks.
There's the Sharks, but
Well,
there's,
yeah.
but there was the San Francisco.
They played at like the Cow Palace.
Yes, they did. It was some not NHL team.
Wow.
Oh, it wasn't NHL. Okay.
Not if they're
It's like
playing at the
recently,
Cow
right?
Palace.
Yeah. Because that was not a real. That's not an NHL team. It was like IHL or some sub league or something. But yeah, it's like I got to look it up now.
San Francisco
San
hockey team.
Francisco. That's not
Seattle Dragons. That doesn't really spark fear into me.
Because dragons aren't real.
Well, yeah.
The Bulls, the San Francisco Bulls.
Oh.
What?
The Bulls.
The Bulls. The Bulls.
Doubles.
They play in, apparently they play in Daly City.
Oh.
Still
I
around,
guess the
huh?
Cow Palace.
Okay.
Or, no, they used to. They no longer.
Oh, no.
They were part of the ECHL. I don't know what that is. The San Francisco Spiders. The San Jose Barracuda. What?
Ooh, oofa doofa.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
That's for Eric Pope.
Brian in Las Vegas. Did you hear about this?
Nope. Not yet.
A guy named Altamore. I don't know. That's probably not his real name. Someone released a mod to fix the netcode for Street Fighter V.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on with that?
And a lot of people have tested it and say it's legit. Obviously, PS4 players are out of luck because it's a one-sided fix.
They are big time out of luck because it's fucking them.
Yeah. So it's I read up on this slightly, and it was like about how often or how frequently the clocks sync between players. Mm-hmm. And so what the mod does is force that sync more often in a way that improves the netcode
and rolls back appropriately.
Yes, and rolls back appropriately. But it's a one-sided fix. You basically players were seeing like one-sided rollback.
Yep.
And this says it will fix that, but both players
need to have the mod
installed.
Have
it for it to. Well, actually, I guess the thing is, both players don't need to have the mod installed for it to be considered something that can play online. It will just fix it for one player, but not the other.
For one player, not the other.
Yeah,
right. But
so it sounds like that is maybe fucking over PS4 players.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah, based on the little knowledge that I do have of it, it is fucking over PS4 players to the point that they're like seeing people come into their lobbies, and if they're PC players, they're going to get kicked because you just don't know.
Oh, right.
You just don't know.
Yeah. So he says here, most players that know about the netcode fix have switched matchmaking to be limited to their respective device.
Right.
Why do you think that Capcom has not tried to fix the netcode? Altamore says it took him 2 days, but Capcom hasn't tried anything for 4 years.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. They're hearing about it now. Like, they're so... Oh, man.
Weren't people complaining about this and speculating about the reason, like, during the beta?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was not the best by any means. There's certainly far worse implementations of netcode, but... Yeah, this is pretty bad, and apparently easily fixable.
Well, I guess like that's the part where
we haven't seen like the widespread like.
Or is this causing some other problem, or is this something that is going to be less fault tolerant on connections that are not already great?
Right,
is the situation where it's like they had to make the decision for a wide audience and not a narrow audience of people on gigabit or whatever. Like we just don't know, and I have to imagine, and maybe not. I don't want to give Capcom all the credit because look at Street Fighter V all along, but I would at least have to guess that there would be a good reason for them to not implement this.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and say that perhaps the reason why they haven't had that many issues, or rather, this hasn't been brought up as a potential solution to them, is because they're very Japan focused.
Sure.
And because it is such a small country and the internet is so good over there that they don't perhaps
need it. They don't see it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wonder.
That's my fear.
Yeah.
Is that they're completely ignoring it.
Could be. They're like, it ain't a problem. It's fine. The netcode's fine. What are you even talking about?
Right. Has there been any type of language discussing this?
I think Ono's actually gotten out there now and said, okay, I know about it now.
Oh. Okay,
leave me alone.
Yep.
Doesn't mean we're going to do anything, but
I think that's.
But I'm guessing, and again, all I can do is guess. But I'm guessing there has to be more to it than just like this 2 days of work and this adjustment.
Oh, yeah.
Like there probably has to be some wider consideration that makes
that's
it
just
more work.
That's just adjusting it for PCs, right?
Right.
Yeah, and maybe the fix would be similar for PS4,
right? But
maybe it breaks a bunch of stuff for people in edge cases, or like maybe there's some larger issue. I don't know.
Totally. Yeah, we don't know for sure, but it is kind of. Yeah, funny, I guess, that it took this guy 2 days.
Right, yeah.
At least, get something that's
potentially workable. Yeah. Yep. TJ writes in and says, how come there isn't a nunchuck controller for the PC to replace WASD movement in games? I always thought it would give an added level of control to PC gaming. Plus, it would help players get into PC gaming more easily. I don't know that I agree with any of that.
if you're I've seen a lot of, I think Junk Food Customs does a lot of like WASD, like they actually take out keyboard controls and put them onto the stick in where the stick is, you know, and you have that, and then you've got your regular buttons on the right-hand side. I'm seeing that more and more, whether it be like a hitbox style where it's, you know, the buttons for the movement, or the actual WASD shit like that.
Well, I think, you know, the opportunity though is that if you replaced it with something that was an analog stick,
right,
and then still used a mouse, so you still have the fidelity of mouse aiming, but you're replacing the digital movement of WASD with an analog stick that gives you potentially finer control, while still putting some buttons on the left stick that let you jump and crouch and do whatever stuff you would normally do with your left hand on a keyboard.
Right. Yeah, we've seen the opposite, I guess.
Right.
And that's what I guess that's what I was talking about, is completely contrary to what we were talking about. I don't know.
I don't think the demand is there. But I think that is something that will keep me from using mouse and keyboard in a game, is if I feel like analog on the left hand matters.
Right.
Like analog movement, if there's something like that matters in a game, that will be enough to sway me in a lot of cases.
Sure. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Friend of the site, Jeff Grubb, writes in and says, he says, it's time to give the speaker hat another chance.
Who's this from?
Jeff Grubb.
He's got one of the speaker hats.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says, look, I had Atari send me the speaker hat as a joke, but I've ended up using it a lot over the last year or so.
Joke my ass. He really wanted it, just like I do.
Yeah. The speaker hat is the fanny pack of the head.
Yeah.
Hear me out. It's stupid and ugly, but like the fanny pack, it serves a purpose. And so I've been talking about headphones. We talked about headphones last week, and my quest for good headphones that I think has stopped at the Turtle Beach Ear Force.
Once you found something that, man, there's such a big world out there, though, Jeff. I know.
I wish I could get something that was less pressing on my head. It feels like it's like no matter how I adjust the fucking the headband, it still feels like it's pressing in on my jaw and ears, and that sucks. So maybe this is the solution. It's not. Hear me out. It's stupid and ugly. Anyway, as a dad, I need to be able to hear if my kids are crying or if my wife is calling me, and the speaker hat is perfect for ensuring I can listen to games or podcasts and still hear everything around me.
Sure.
Do I look like a fool? Of course. Do I care anymore that I look like a fool? I have 2 kids, so absolutely not. If you're looking for a gaming headset, give it a shot, although they probably don't even make them anymore. Yeah.
Do they have like an analog in? I wonder. Like
it's Bluetooth.
It's Bluetooth.
So I think, you know.
Well, I mean, not every gaming system is going to be, you know, you can't sync that up to your PS4.
I don't have Bluetooth on my PC.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah.
So you would need some sort of analog situation.
Well, or I could just buy
an adapter.
I mean, I have a Bluetooth dongle that I could throw in there.
True.
Yeah.
You can get some open-backed headphones instead of wearing the dumb hat. Mm-hmm. But I kind of want to wear the dumb hat. I think it's cool.
I kind of don't like wearing hats either.
I love
it. I'll throw one on. I've been throwing one on like.
Give me a big doofy hat that plays music.
Yeah. Ever since the baby was born, there's like a little bit less time to like get ready to go out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there's definitely been cases where I'm just like, I have to put on shoes and a hat because I don't have time to touch my hair or do anything. We got to get out there and get this shit done. So I've been wearing hats more often and not especially liking it.
I'm gonna have you try on. Have you tried the HyperXs? They're very cushy and comfy.
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got it set at my desk. Yeah. We'll talk.
All right. I'll give him a shot for sure.
All right.
Okay. Greg from Olathe, Kansas writes in and says, while playing Control, I was surprised at how many times fuck or some form of it was said. Kingpin Life of Crime is the first game I remember to include fuck in the dialogue. Shit, asshole, dick tits, and other curse words have been sprinkled in games since the 8-bit era. My favorite being from the TurboGrafx 16 game Download, in which the main character in the game over screen says, "No shit, I got the wrong way." But outside of the oddball game like Scarface The World Is Yours on PS2, it seems like fuck wasn't commonplace in M-rated games until late in the 360 PS3 era.
Sure.
When did games break the fuck threshold? Was there a particular game that started the fuck renaissance we hear in dialogue today?
There was a lot of it in Kingpin. I remember that.
Kingpin for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I feel like it was Grand Theft Auto was where that really broke down. And even then, there wasn't necessarily a ton of it, but
they used it sparingly.
Yeah, over the course of the the GTA 3 trilogy of like GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. I feel like over the course of that, by the time they got to San Andreas, they were just like, no, this is how people talk. And went there, quote unquote.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want to read this email. This is just the subject line just says Vin Diesel should fight a Rathalos.
All right.
I'm in.
Yeah.
This is not a Rathalos, by the way. This is a pink Rathian.
Okay.
That I've got here. This figure.
Art from Chicago says, on last week's show, you discussed which monster the Fast and Furious crew would fight in an inevitable movie. It got me thinking about the upcoming Monster Hunter film. The premise is that a military team falls in a portal to an alternate world, and they have to team up with the hunters to defend the portal. What if they just made that, but with the Fast and Furious crew? The idea of Vin Diesel using a great sword is really funny to me. Which weapon do you think each member would use?
Vin Diesel is a great sword user for sure. I'm not up on my Fast and the Furious. So I'll give you the weapons. Right. Yeah. There's a light bow gun, there's a heavy bow gun.
Yeah.
Right. You've got your long sword. Those motherfuckers just slash anything that's in front of them. Their fucking teammates included.
Is there a weapon that most closely replicates fists?
Fists?
Is there like
there's dual blades?
Okay. Yeah, dual blades probably closely, but that's dual blades is like sneaky ninja type shit. It's
kind
not
of,
the same thing.
exactly. But you got two hands moving around. I guess. Insect glaive is like a bow staff, but you got ninja moves as well. You get to throw bugs at people.
I don't know that there are really any great analogs other than Vin Diesel and a great sword.
So.
It's
I feel like all the weapons have to be attached to cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how they're fighting these monsters. A giant sword or a giant lance strapped to a car.
Totally like a gun lance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could strap a gun lance to a car.
I could imagine Ludacris with a giant hammer attached to the hood of his car, just like slamming as he's driving.
Yeah.
Oof. Yep. I could see that. Yeah, I would see that movie. I actually bought all those movies because it was like $13 for all of them. It was a very
price.
Good deal.
Yeah. I feel like it's like you got to know when to buy that collection, right? I bought it when it was just 3 movies on Blu-ray, just the first 3, because that's all that was there, and then I have a Blu-ray copy.
At the time, that was a good time to buy.
Right? Yeah. Well, it got me a Blu-ray copy of Tokyo Drift, which ultimately was what I was looking for. So it was fine. But yeah, those deals only get better as more movies come out, and they're like, "This is like $140." You're like, "Yeah, give me 6 months." When you're trying to blow these things off the shelves for $9 because they take up so much fucking space. Yeah.
I'll watch them someday.
All right. We got a couple of emails in this vein that it's alarming. Ed from Brooklyn says, I think we have a national emergency. On last week's Bombcast, Jeff mentioned how his local Taco Bell was out of hard shell tacos. We're here at my local Taco Bell. The same thing happened.
No.
Attaches a picture for proof. No more crunchy tacos, says the sign. It's got little smiley faces. Or number 6 or number 10 combos and chalupa box. Sorry.
That just is rude. They put a smiley face on there?
Yeah, they put a little smiley face on it.
To try and like
there's no situation
you got to
in which
soften.
A smiley face is appropriate when you're out of hard shell tacos. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you see they basically brought back something that very closely resembles a double-decker taco?
Yes. Yeah. They got the, it's just cheese.
Oh, okay. It's not beans? Middle.
No, I don't think it's beans. I think it's cheese.
Cheese is pretty good, though.
And they got like a Reaper Ranch.
Oh,
this is really
Reaper
good.
Ranch?
No thanks. No
We're playing the Overwatch game again?
Yeah. Right. It's really good.
Anonymous emailer.
Double stacked, I think they're called.
Yeah. Anonymous emailer writes in and says, I need some advice. Recently, a DoorDash account was created by someone else using my email. I have a pretty basic Gmail address. It is just my first initial and last name. My last name is kind of rare, but even then I get some pretty interesting stuff. In the past, I'm looking at it. It seems like something that would be very easy to have typos for a more common last name. Anyway, but he asked to remain anonymous. My last name is kind of rare, but even then I get some pretty interesting stuff. In the past, I've tried to tell people that they have the wrong email, but rarely do they give a shit. I reset the password on the DoorDash account several days ago and have just been sitting on it. Now I see the real account owner has opened a support ticket with DoorDash, wondering why the hell they can't get into their account. My main question is, what do I do? I want to let the owner know, don't use my fucking email, dumbass. I have their phone number and address, but I don't really want to text them with my number. Should I try to anonymously text them, write them a letter, order a small food item with their credit card and include a custom message?
There you go.
Use my credit card to order them food and send them a message? Just delete the account? Sit on the account forever? Advice is appreciated.
I mean, you want to... They're a dumbass. Sure.
Yeah.
But let's be nice about this. Let's order them something from Taco Bell. Or any.
Why don't you order them
restaurant.
about $200 worth of food using their credit card?
Using their credit card.
After you do it for yourself.
I wonder, you might just be able to change the delivery address. It's got their payment information on file. I mean, eventually that catches up with you, but...
Well, that's where you just meet up the delivery person to a different address.
Oh, yeah. You get it delivered somewhere weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you hold this? How do you hold this account hostage, though? Like...
You don't, because they can just cancel it and create another one as soon as they realize what's going on with their real email address.
Okay. So we don't have a lot of leverage here.
Yeah, I think you could get a Google Voice account, which gives you a phone number that you can send text messages from and text them that way anonymously. But I like the idea of ordering a small food item. Well, except like once they realize, unless you think they'll figure out which email address they used and contact you that way. Like if they figure out what email address was on the account, then that's potentially an issue. That's a paper trail back to you. You don't want that getting back to you in any way, shape, or form.
True.
Couldn't the person just contact DoorDash themselves?
So that's the thing, is the person did to open a support ticket saying, why can't I log in?
The person that got accidentally looped in.
Yeah, you could contact DoorDash and say that to them, but that's no fun.
Exactly.
I think deleting the account is maybe the actual right way to go.
Also the not fun way.
Yeah, it's not fun. I think ordering food for them.
Yep.
But I don't think you can. It says and include a custom message. I don't think it's not. DoorDash doesn't. I'm pretty sure DoorDash is not like
doesn't give you the message back. Like that's for the delivery. People.
Oh, you could write that and say like, hey, delivery person, let this person know that.
Yep.
That this happened, and you can even. I think you can contact the driver as soon as it gets assigned. So you could contact them and say, hey, here's a ridiculous chain of events that's going to sound like a scam in some way anyway. Like, I think that's the thing, is like anything you do to try to get the message to this person, short of registering a Google Voice number and texting them and saying, hey, you used my email address to open your DoorDash account and I don't want you to do that. That's why you can no longer log in. Go make a new one.
Or you send them a message via the things you send them.
Yep.
Like say you go to a Denny's with a funky menu and you piece by piece let them know that they fucked up.
It's the first letter of every food item you order.
Yeah.
Spells out you fucked up. I like that.
Delicious.
Yeah, I like if you can mask your IP address through some sort of. Can you use DoorDash on a web browser? Or is it strictly mobile?
You could order through.
Then get on a VPN. And order them a bunch of food. No, eventually that's going to lead back to your email address. Eventually someone's going to come back to you and ask you to pay for that food. Eventually you're going to get fucked on that one somehow, I think. So
they have to make a new email, change the account to that, and then go on a VPN. And then order a bunch of food.
Yeah, unless DoorDash can pull up the logs of the email address used to be this, but it changed to this. They might be able to still piece that together.
Those people at DoorDash, they're really smart. They'll totally.
No, they're not. Fucking DoorDash. So I try not to use DoorDash, but again, it's been one of those things since we had a kid. There's just sometimes where it's like, we just need food brought here, and it's just time is of the essence. And so we've used it a little bit more than I wish we had. And I probably will use it again someday. Last time I ordered it, there was something where it was like, you could customize the order in certain ways. It's all built into the app, like, oh, tap this if you want more of this or whatever. So I customized that for something my wife wanted. And the order showed up, and the person delivering it, super nice, was just like, hey, the people let me know that they can't do that, so they didn't. I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, not their fault, not the restaurant's fault for not doing that. Like, clearly something about the menu should not have been designed in a way that allowed me to order that if that's something they can't do.
Yeah.
So anytime you contact DoorDash with, hey, this was wrong, or the food was bad, or anytime you contact DoorDash and say there was a problem with this order in some way, shape, or form, the thing they automatically do is like try to fucking cut a deal. Like, oh, if this item was bad, what if we give you 50% of what you paid for it back right now? You don't have to talk to anybody. You just hit this button and accept the offer, and it's credit in your account. Boom. What about that? What if we don't make it right? What if we just give you back half your money?
What?
And it's like, hey, motherfucker, like what? So the alternative there is to say, no, fuck you. There's a separate button. I don't think it actually says no, fuck you, but
boo. That's not how people talk.
Yeah. And then you have to like fill out a form, and then they go, okay, all right. At least the time I did it.
Sure.
They were like, we can give you the full money back for the item. It's like, you scumbags. You fucking scumbags.
Doesn't that save them the trouble in the future for that happening again also? To like remove that option?
Yeah, so in some ways you're doing them a favor by road testing this menu that is that does not work or something. And they've got this canned letter. Like I got a response back in a time that was clearly still a robot saying like, I can offer you the full amount. Like, the fuck? Yeah, fucking A right, you can. Oh, you're going to give me my money back for this thing that showed up like fucking wrong? Like, oh yeah, I'll just take half. That's okay. This food I'm like probably going to throw out or something because it's made all wrong. Like, sure. Fine.
Give me my money back.
It's only fair. It's really fucking crazy.
They should DoorDash the money back to you.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for getting you those DoorDash gift certificates.
It's a fine service. It's just in these, like in that particular aspect of their, like you whatever, you get what you pay for. I also think it's really sleazy that all the food is marked up.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same as like if you go there and pay for the same food. And like I feel like if that was separated out and says, hey, we're going to charge 20% on top of the food order, and then there's a tip for the person delivering the food. If they were just upfront about how it all broke out, no
absolutely.
issues. Yeah. Like I'd be like, of course you have to make money. Like, duh. But the fact that they just say like, no, this thing's $9, but if you go to the restaurant, it's $6, shitty.
Yeah. So my local Chinese spot will like the prices are marked up if you go through like a delivery service.
Yeah.
You just call them on the phone.
Yeah.
They'll deliver it for free, no markup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll throw in free wontons.
Of course.
I like free wontons.
Yeah.
And I wonder like what's in it for them. I mean, I guess they have to cut DoorDash in on the money, right? If they do that. So of course that's why they mark it up. But yeah, that's it's wild. I feel like there's just a more upfront and honest way to convey that than the way that they do it. It's crazy to me that they just say like, no, this food's way more expensive. It's like, what is this, an airport? Am I getting food delivered from the fucking airport?
Right.
It's a fucking Burger King. I know what this shit costs, man. I don't think we're actually. I don't think my local Burger King is on. If they were, look, when the chips are down, anything goes. I guess is the thing I've learned. I used to be out there going like, I don't think getting Taco Bell delivered to your house is a good idea. That seems like a fall of society type of thing we shouldn't be allowed to do.
And then you did it.
And then I did it. Only once.
Yeah.
But that was enough to where I was like,
what have I become?
This was significantly convenient in this specific situation. This was exactly what I needed right now. And I was willing to pay their jacked up fuck prices to get it.
So I used to be a PA on a TV show, and my daily task was like wrangling lunch. And it was always the most fucking harrowing experience because you have to get everyone's orders. Yeah. And everyone has like their individual needs.
Did you have to pick the place or was it like a list of approved places or is it like every Tuesday we get this?
It'd go back and forth. Okay. And it would also greatly depend on like where the fuck we were that day.
Yeah.
And sometimes, a place won't have grilled cheese, God damn it. And I had brought up once, like, hey, it'd be easier to track everyone's orders and get like a paper list if we just did it through an app.
Yeah.
And like that was like when Grubhub and DoorDash was like launching off. And I had brought this up numerous times, like, hey, it'd be easier. We could like hound the restaurant or hound the app if they forget something and not get on my case.
Yeah.
There you go.
But no, they never wanted to fucking do that. And also they'd get mad, like, Jan, you're taking too long to get the lunch, buddy. I'm like, well, I got to drive a fucking hour out of here
to get the lunch. Goddamn grilled cheese.
When it could just come to us.
Yeah.
And I realize sometimes we're in like a sensitive area, but then, I wouldn't mind just driving 5 minutes down the road to meet someone up.
Keep it secret.
God damn it.
Yeah. That's,
I'm sorry.
No one likes efficiency. I feel like television production is not about
It
efficiency.
is the most inefficient stuff sometimes. Especially when sometimes the way to fix the problem was spray something with a money hose. Not an actual money hose, but just the couple times that my day could have been not ruined.
Yeah.
Fucking grilled cheese.
That
who ordered the grilled cheese? Don't tell me. Oh, damn.
That happens here sometimes too. Not on the food front, but yes, there's certainly efficiency. Big companies are bad at it.
Bagels,
Fucking bagels. The fruit orders also.
I came in here yesterday and I found like a full like box full of bananas and I was like, we have bananas?
Yeah.
And then I grabbed
Some
two.
days we
The
do.
bananas go fast.
Yeah.
I feel like the last time I was over there, I was looking for a banana and it was just a box of apples.
Motherfucker.
And I was like, I'm fine with an apple, but I just don't want one right now.
We need more.
More bananas.
More bananas.
More bananas.
All right. Here is an email. This generation saw a ton of old games returning, not just remakes, but lots of ports with upgrades in resolution and frame rate. Like all of Naughty Dog's PS3 games getting PS4 editions and stuff like that. As a result, when a game comes out and runs at 30 frames per second with a bunch of motion blur, or even way less than that, am I justified in just waiting for the inevitable next-gen enhancement?
I've definitely caught myself saying that at times.
Yeah, like, they'll get this better. They'll get this right next time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or is it better on PC or whatever?
In this day and age, there are a number of reasons to wait on playing a game, whether you're waiting on patches or you just don't have time. Like, there are a zillion games coming out every goddamn day. It is impossible
100%
to keep track of new releases coming out in the same way that I did 10 years ago.
Sure.
It's crazy. So, yeah. Play, just spend time playing more games that you got and don't buy the other stuff. Well, yeah, wait for him to fix it or just wait. Eric from Tampa writes in with our last email. On the January 7th episode, I mentioned going to a Taco Bell that was sold out of several menu items, including hard tacos and so on and so forth. One time, I went to a Taco Bell that was sold out of ground beef, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, tomatoes, and tortillas.
You closed shop.
Yeah, just shut down for the day.
They told me this via the speaker box and then asked what I wanted to order. I was so shook up, I just drove away.
Yep.
Have you ever driven away from a drive-thru? Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
I jumped out of the drive-through window into a car and drove away. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever gotten from one car into another car in a drive-through?
Yeah. We caravan for sure.
Yeah. I had a fucking guy try to kill me in a drive-through or I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. He was drunk. Something was going on.
Okay. What restaurant?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Okay.
I was in a Taco Bell drive-through. I was in a band at the time. There's some people that were in the band. We were like, we were going to get tacos for everybody. So we were in the drive-through. We hadn't ordered, or we had ordered, but we hadn't picked up yet. I was in a Bronco. Maybe that's important to know for the next part of the story, where the guy behind me rear-ended me.
Oh,
oops!
In the drive-through, just a little tap, and it was like I had a lot of people in the car.
Yeah.
So it was like, it wasn't immediately clear if that was just someone shifting weight around or, if it was something else. So I kind of looked in the side mirror at the guy back there and kind of just like, whatever. I just wasn't sure what had happened. And then it happened again.
Oh.
And I look in the side mirror and the guy's just fucking staring at me.
Oh,
like
boy.
Just staring at the side mirror like, yeah, what the fuck you gonna do? He then proceeded to roll down the window and start cursing at us.
Oh, jeez.
And then fucking slammed on the gas. Like basically got his car up against, like his car was touching the Bronco.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then fucking basically floored it or something like that. I just put my foot on the brakes and I eventually put the car in park.
Yeah.
It's a Bronco. He didn't fucking move it with whatever shit box he was driving. So he did that for a while. Completely fucking up because, a Bronco is up higher than his piece of shit.
Yeah.
So he's practically just wrapping his car around. I didn't have a trailer hitch on it, but where the trailer hitch would hook up is like practically just, forming a U shape on the front of his car around this as he's doing this.
What a dumbass.
Then backs up off the car. He's like still just like cursing crazy. And like at this point, we're sitting there going like, are we gonna have to get out of this car and fucking fuck this dude up? Or like there's like 7 of us in this car.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking problem.
Yeah.
But like it was just like this dude's fucking crazy. Like I don't want to get out here and have to deal with some fucking lunatic. Who knows what the fuck he's got with him? And then he proceeds to just fucking back up just enough. Makes a hard right, drives over a lawn and bumper, and go out of the drive-thru and fucking off into the night. Except not off into the night, off into an empty parking lot, like a dirt lot across from the Taco Bell, where he proceeds to start doing donuts until the cops get him.
Yeah.
Because the people at the drive-thru window saw what was going on. They called the cops.
Okay.
And so they were. I think they might have been trying to slow things down at the drive-thru at that point, so the cops could show up and get this guy.
Yeah.
But he fucking just took off. But he took off to the lot across the street and started spinning donuts or driving like an idiot over there, and they immediately got him.
I wonder what he ordered.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm actually
He must have
about
really
that too.
fucking needed it.
Yeah.
Because it was taking forever, and we weren't even like, it wasn't even us. Like we'd ordered a significant amount of food,
Sure.
but like the car in front of us was still up there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we weren't
Holding up the
in
line.
position to hold up the line yet.
That was going to be a question.
yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
And it was just bizarre. It's just I just
That's
have
messed
no
up.
fucking idea other than fucking crystal fucking meth, man.
That's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I can't. Why would he?
But also, if you were fucked up on meth, are you really going to Taco Bell? You're eating ice chips
Is that it?
when you're fucked up. When you're
I don't know. I've
people
never
on
been on
speed,
the meth.
like tend to not eat food. It's an appetite suppressant.
Yeah, I've heard that. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy people.
Yeah, I don't. Even, it's
Well, kudos to you for
Standing
the
your ground.
The restraint.
yeah for just
would not
hitting the
have-
brakes. Yeah, it was. There was definitely like a moment there where I was just like, we're all gonna pile out of this car.
Yeah.
And fucking end this dude. And none of us were particularly tough and like looking to get in a fight, but it was just like it was a matter of just like there's one person in this car, there are a lot in this car. Like if we don't get out, he's gonna get out, and then I'd rather be the first one out of the car and then have him walk up and try to fucking like throw a punch through a window or something stupid like that. Yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of bad times in that Bronco. That was like not too many years after I had a guy point a fucking shotgun at me through the window of that thing.
That's a story for another podcast.
That's another story for that podcast.
Do people just have ill feelings towards Broncos?
Maybe they did. This was, this was.
Hate a guy in a Bronco.
That's right. This was over a decade past OJ.
Oh.
I feel like it's still like the most famous
geez.
Bronco moment. And it was not a white Bronco.
Yeah.
So. I don't know, man.
Well, it sounds like the juice was loose with that guy.
Not for long.
Oh, right.
They locked that motherfucker up, I assume. At least put him in the tank for the night. I don't know. Speaking of going in the tank for the night, that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Off to the drunk tank. You enjoy this podcast. I hope you did.
I
And
enjoyed it.
We'll be back next
It was
week
fun.
with more hijinks from the world of video games.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Brad and Rory for being here for.
Oh, Rory's gone too.
Yeah, Rory.
Shit.
Yeah, Rory had a dentist thing. Brad is off to play an upcoming video game
Oh, Brad's gone.
that we will. He is coming back with some footage of that we will look at.
Oh.
I believe next week. Jason and Jan, thanks for hanging out,
Thank you.
and we'll see you then. That's been it here at the Giant Bombcast from giantbomb.com.